minutes to go in the game. Northwestern sitting in a double-digit lead. Jatim Young goes to work on the freshman Henderson. Vakusic for 3 with 4 to go on the shot clock. That is a dagger.
It sure is. A 3 with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. That was excellent execution that time by the Wildcats.
Boy, they have been so sharp offensively, moving the basketball, moving people.
They've had an answer for everything that Iowa's tried.
And again, they came to play on this end of the floor defensively. Jatim Young doubling down, commits the foul against Pierre Pierce, and Jatim is 4.
Now, again, you don't want to dissuade the aggressiveness on defense, because that's why you're here right now with a chance to win. But if you're Northwestern, you do not want to foul, especially when it's not to stop a layup or something. Yep. Each time you do, you stop the clock, you put them on the free throw line, and that hurts.
Here's 17 points, 6 make it 18 now, and he is 6 out of 8 at the free throw line. Pierce is a nice player, great length, 6'4", and long arms. He's got the arm, I would say, the length of a guy much taller than 6'4".
Maybe Coach Alford now going to more guys who can be a three-point threat, because he may need that to get back in position to now steal one at home.
Bruner leaves, and Brody Boyd comes in for him. You're right, an extra guard, an extra wing player, somebody who can get a three-point shot, but they need points in a hurry. First, they get the turnover. Henderson, some penetration off the window. Nicely done.
Hey, if you're Northwestern, get the ball in the hands of your best ball handlers, guys like Parker.
And then the foul committed here by Jeff Horner. It's his first personal. 8 on the team, 1-on-1 opportunity coming up at the line. Bill Carmody wearing that expression. I keep thinking what you said a few moments ago. I mean, they've led this long, played this well for so long, and can they lose this game?
Hey, here's an interesting situation. You got Mohammed Hashad on the line, just a 58% free throw shooter. Let's check him out.
Looked pretty good on that one, didn't he?
Throw the stats out the window today when it comes to Northwestern.
Career high 15 points for Hashad.
None of it makes sense.
Yeah, I think all these stats we've got here, they could have left on the table. 2 big free throws for Mohammed Hashad.
Well, if you're Iowa, you need to be quick. Can't afford to take too much time off the clock anymore.
Turnover, costly there, obviously. Worley unable to handle that low pass. Coming up on 2 minutes left to go. Well, this Big Ten season, my goodness. Parker off the feed, and smart work here.
Yes, indeed.
They don't need to score. Vakusic on the reverse, missed it. That was too good to pass up. Anderson needs to find a three-point shooter. They're trying to get it inside of Pierce. And there's going to be Northwestern ball, although it looked like it was kicked out of bounds by one of the Wildcats.
It looked like maybe Devanchik touched it, but I'm not so sure he did. He didn't think he did, or at least he didn't act like he did.
They reversed the call.
Yeah.
Dan Crispin, Art McDonald, and Glenn Buddy Mayborg. And
he didn't touch it, Wayne.
Glenn Mayborg is the man who told Artie McDonald to reverse it the other way. Just inside the arc, Henderson. Hashad the rebound. Here's the lead. Vakusic. Northwestern will even its record in the Big Ten at 1-1.
And if I had a hat on, I'd take it off to them right now, because they came in here as down as a team really could be.
Absolutely. Playing without confidence, having lost 5 in a row, having gotten blown out just a couple of nights earlier at Michigan. Time now for the Advance Auto Parts upcoming schedules. And here's what they talked about. That win over Purdue was fine, but they needed to go 2-0 at home. Now they'll go on the road at Minnesota on Tuesday, then at Illinois and Iowa State being a non-conference game. So the road does not get easy at all for Steve Alford and company. At the line, Michael Henderson puts in on his first.
You could almost say Northwestern played the perfect game today.
For what they had to do to win here, absolutely. Carried out the game plan. exceptionally well. And that ball tipped out of bounds by DeWanchich, so Iowa will get it back. 74-61 with 1:25 to go. Penn State got its second win today at home. Pierce off the mark there. Here comes Parker. Iowa needs a foul. Young gets fouled. He'll go to the line. Worley commits it. You know, you take a look at the same situation Penn State had, playing at home against Minnesota on Wednesday, and then today against Ohio State. And I'm sure if you're Penn State, you're saying, well, boy, it'd be great if we can get off to that 2-0 start in Big Ten play, win those 2 home games. They were able to do that today. Iowa got the big win Wednesday night, unable to follow it up today, and that's what really hurts. Now they're going to go on the road, as we pointed out.
In Northwestern, they go home for 1, Wayne, not 2, 1. Yeah. And then they're right back out on the road to Indiana. So I think that really adds emphasis to, you know, the need for this win today.
And that one at home, Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
It won't be exactly. But they'll stay on the road. Pierre Pierce, who has at times really played well today, has 21 points. Under a minute to go. A shocker at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Wildcats salting this one away. What a surprise here today. The last win a decade ago for the Wildcats in these environs, and they've only had one over the years in this building. You'd have to go back to 1994 for their last win here. Tim Young finally gets a traveling call. He got bumped a little bit, but the turnover with 24 seconds to go. First win, as I mentioned, breaks the 9-game regular season losing streak, Big Ten losing streak.
And when you consider all that, and Tim Young did not have a good game today, offensively, who could have predicted this?
Parker. Northwestern set to dribble it out, basically. The lob, Hashad. Inside on Pierce. 77-66 Northwestern. Horner given the lane as we're into the final 4 seconds, and that will do it. What a win on the road for the Northwestern Wildcats. They have upset the Iowa Hawkeyes 77-68.
They were a well-prepared team today.
No question about it. Northwestern pulls off the upset. For Greg Kelser, Wayne Larrabee, we send it back to the studio. Mike Gleason and Sean Morris.
All right, thanks a lot, Wayne. Still to come, of course, Dee Brown. Now, Bill Self called him the one-man fast break. Bruce Weber, he calls him the governor. The rest of us call him real quick, and he is on deck. Game 3 of ESPN Plus triple header. Let's go up to Madison right now. Michigan State opened up their Big Ten season, and they opened up a 17-5 lead.
But you know that wasn't going to last long, particularly at the Kohl Center. Clayton Hansen off the bench knocks down a big 3, which gives the Badgers a 3-point lead at that point in time. But Zach Morley, what a great job he's done in filling in for the injured Alondo Tucker, 2 of his 13 right there.
And Devin Harris winds up with 21 points. They closed the first half on a 36-14 run. The final score is 77-64. So Wisconsin, they pick up the victory. They're 11-2 and 2-0 in the Big Ten. Michigan State will be home against Penn State. Purdue, Illinois from Champaign, Assembly Hall, the Fighting Illini. They rarely lose there. That's game 3. It might be the best of the lot. We're back with more after this.
I'm driving up to the game tonight to give away a free can of refreshing 7-Up and $1 million for anyone who can slam dunk on our 7-Up hoop.
Unleash your potential at Moraine Valley Community College.
Moraine Valley gives me the power to do whatever I want. I thought about being a psychologist, and I thought about being a teacher, but I really want to be a radiologist. And I know Moraine Valley will help me achieve my goals. They're really giving me that step that I need to go on to a university. Education is your ultimate superpower.
For more information, call 877-YES-MVCC or visit us online at morainevalley.edu. Expect success at Moraine Valley Community College.
Williams, the sophomore guard out of Texas for Illinois, was scheduled to have his wires cut in his broken jaw yesterday. Williams in the Illini taking on Purdue coming up next.
They're saying running back by committee is bad for football. I was just saying I see the relevance of committees, just not for running backs. Dan Patrick just used the word unitard in his column. I was just saying unitard is one of the most underutilized words in the English language. Wait, if I was thinking that, and they were thinking that.
1,000 cars and trucks, 1,000 winners nationwide, one hot button. It's the widest selection of cars and trucks on the planet. For a chance to win, go to a participating GM dealer, push the OnStar button, and play the game. Have you pushed the GM hot button yet?
Mike Leeson, Sean Morris back in the Big Ten studios. I know you had to sign a paper saying that you're totally neutral, but you're delighted with the Northwestern victory, and that was huge for Bill Carmody, no doubt about that.
Well, Coach Bill Carmody going on the road, particularly as poorly as they performed at Michigan on Wednesday night, to come out and execute the way they did, particularly getting production from the backcourt of Ashad and Parker, something that had been lacking. They were able to step up. Jatim Young only 7 points in that ball game.
Purdue opened at Iowa. They lost. They go into Illinois, game 3 today. And, of course, you got the Bruce Weber, Gene Cady thing, but Illinois seems to be hitting on all cylinders right now. What does Purdue has to do to slow them down?
I think what they have to do really is take care of the basketball and control the front line of Illinois. Illinois very athletic up front. Purdue didn't have much of an inside presence in their loss on Wednesday at Iowa City. They'll need to step up and answer the bell. Kenneth Lowe can't do it all himself.
Nick Smith coming off a 22-point game, the 7-2 junior from Florida. Is he a factor in this ball game, or is Purdue too big down in the paint?
Well, Nick Smith coming off a career performance, 20 points off the bench. They'll need for him to come out and hit that mid-range jumper, stretch the defense a little bit.
Well, so far on the Big Ten Network, Penn State at home against the Buckeyes of Ohio State, 64-47. So Ed DeChellis is unbeaten in Big Ten play, and Northwestern just upset Iowa 77-68. And still to come from Champaign, Illinois, we take you to Assembly Hall. The Boilermakers looking for their first Big Ten win. They'll take on the Fighting Illini.
No other weekly financial publication moves the markets like Barron's. It provides the knowledge, insight, and foresight that allow you to stay one step ahead. Subscribe now and you'll also receive this Barron's Stock Evaluator free. It lets your computer help you turn money into wealth. Get 13 weeks of Barron's and the Stock Evaluator, all for only $39. Call now toll-free, 800-334-6600. That's 800-334-6600.
Coming up on the King of Queens, Doug's checking out the family jewels.
Wow.
I know. I'm really sporting quite the gem, huh?
This thing makes your breasts look huge.
Carrie's ring brings them big bucks.
Why? You kids got a drug habit? You got the monkey on your back?
But the cool new TV and hot tub they bought comes with a curse.
You can't tell, but I'm sweating like a pig right now.
In hot water on the King of Queens.
Tonight at 6 on WCIU.
In Champaign, Illinois today, much anticipated matchup between the teacher and a former student. Gene Cady meets Bruce Weber. That means Purdue takes on Illinois. A sellout at the Assembly Hall coming up next. The crowd is a sellout. It is expected to be raucous. It is game number 2 of the conference season for Purdue and Illinois, and it is huge. Good afternoon, Jim Barber along with Mike Kelly. We already know about the coaches, and you'll see plenty of them this afternoon. But this game also has some very good guards.
You're right. The two guards, the generals for these teams, it starts with Purdue and Kenneth Lowe. He's the reigning Defensive Player of the Year for Purdue. He gets in your face, and he is the leader of this Purdue team. They need him to step up today. And then for Illinois, it's D. Brown, preseason Big Ten Player of the Year. He is exciting to watch, nicknamed the one-man fast break. He gets up and down the court. This should be a fun one.
And Mike, Illinois is 45-1 over the last 46 at Assembly Hall. Let's send it back to Mike Gleason and the new kid on the block in the studios, Sean Morris.
Thanks a lot, Jim. That's right, the new kid on the block, Sean Morris, the former Northwestern star. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Ten studio. What do you think? You still have enough for a few wind sprints at the end of this one? Or
you can call me the new kid on the block. Just don't ask me to do that stupid dance they did.
Well, how you holding up, though? I mean, we've got 3 games. We've got another one. This could be the best one of the lot coming up.
I really think it is. We're coming off 2 great performances, and we're really looking forward to this 3rd game. Should be a great game.
Now, Wisconsin is gunning for yet another Big Ten championship, and hey, that's all that Bo knows, it seems. Today, as Badgers hosted Tom Izzo's Spartans up in Madison, Wisconsin, and let's take a look at it. If you just joined us, here's how it went down. Michigan State opening up a 17-5 lead.
But Wisconsin answered as they have all year. Clayton Hansen off the bench, knocking down a big 3 to give Wisconsin a 3-point lead at that standpoint. Then driving to the basket, Zach Morley, big hoop, 2 of his 13 in relief of Alondo Tucker.
And then Devin Harris, he had 21, sneaking through the back door right here. The Badgers close out the first half, 36-14 run, final score 77-64. So those Badgers of Wisconsin, they get 21, they get 3 in double figures. They went to the stripe 35 times today compared to 13 for Michigan State. They wind up shooting 55%, but the fact is they only had 11 turnovers, and I guess that was key in the ball game.
Well, Wisconsin just does an outstanding job of taking care of the basketball, as witnessed by the fact they lead the conference in assist-to-turnover ratio. They also limit shooting opportunities. Michigan State got off to a great start. Wisconsin clamped down. That was the difference.
Now, some fans would say the Spartans have had their troubles. Of course, they play the toughest schedule in America, non-conference. And some fans will blow things out of proportion, but how difficult is the situation for Tom Izzo right now in East Lansing, or how close is he to turning it around?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. Tom Izzo's not an idiot. He didn't just wake up and become an idiot. They played everybody, I mean, in this non-conference season, everyone except the Lakers, I think, Lee, with a young team. They lost Lowerbeck. They've had to make some adjustments on the fly. There's still some talent there. They've had some off-court distractions, but I know they're going to be a factor in this race because of 2 reasons. They're going to come out, they're going to rebound, and they're going to defend. They're young, but they're going to be a mix and a big factor in this race down the stretch.
I think in February, at one time last year, he was like 14-13. He might have been 13-14. Of course, the Spartans were the talk of the NCAA tournament. They almost made it back to the Final Four. Steve Alford started last year's Big Ten season 3-0. This year, well, they were a win away from getting out of the gates 2-0. But hey, look at this. Northwestern goes in to Iowa City and pulls out the 77-68 win. Your thoughts on this one?
It was so important for Northwestern to get some productivity from their backcourt, something that had been lacking about the last 5 or 6 games, and they got it. Hashad did a fantastic job of defending, using those long arms, Glee, and then T.J. Parker did a fantastic job of running the offense. And just like the first game that we saw where Jan Yaga was kind of kept in check, Northwestern's go-to guy, Jatim Young, not really a force offensively, just as Penn State did. Other people stepped up, answered the bell. That was the big difference. Vukuzic led the way with 22.
That's a great point about the Yagla and Jatim Young, because we lifted the curtain on our Big Ten Saturday today with a trip to Penn State. The Buckeyes were in town. Buckeyes looking for their first win. Let's take a look at what went down there. Radinovich had 16 points, 11 rebounds, but they had trouble holding on to the basketball. 19 turnovers. Watch this. J.J. Sullinger takes it down into the land of no return and just threw it away.
Well, the Buckeyes were treating the basketball like nuclear waste, and you compare that with the backcourt of Penn State. Marlon Smith, fantastic, a career high, and his running mate Ben Luber in the backcourt did a fantastic job of running the show for Penn State. They go to 2-0. The Bryce Jordan Center was hopping today.
Radinovich, 16 points, 11 rebounds before he fouls out. Marlon Smith, 23 points. Yagla, 12. Aaron Johnson, 12. And their confidence has to be sky high right now. And again, earlier we talked about the fact, hey, it's so early, you can't get too excited, but something is going right for Ed DeChellis right now.
Well, he's got these guys playing with a lot of passion, particularly on the defensive end of the floor. They defeated a much more talented Minnesota team at home, and they took that potential and that momentum. They carried it over into this weekend. They were able to take Ohio State out of what they wanted to do primarily, get the ball inside to Radinovich. They switched defenses, confused Ohio State, and then Ohio State turned the ball over, and to Penn State's credit, they really were able to extend the lead with Yagla out of the ballgame. That backcourt, freshman backcourt for Penn State, superb. superb this afternoon.
Okay, so Penn State Northwestern with the victories, and very quickly we're following that Pittsburgh-Miami game down in Miami in the Big East. Pittsburgh, of course, 15-0, and there it is in overtime. Pittsburgh, they were trailing, they came back and, well, they pulled it out 84-80, so now they're 16-0.
Well, Jamie Dixon's going to have to find out someday what it's like to lose a big-time college basketball game, but a fantastic job by Pitt going into a hostile environment, because you have to believe that the Hurricanes were ready to go. They took their best shot, able to get out of there with a win.
So Pittsburgh 16-0. This is their sixth 16-0 start in the history of the program, and we'll update that with some video at halftime. Of course, Purdue taking on Illinois, Game 3 here from ESPN Plus, the first triple-header of the 2004 season. Your thoughts on this game one more time before we send it out?
I think what you're going to see is really the similar type of approach to the basketball game. Both teams really going to defend hard, look for Illinois to try to exploit their athleticism, get up and down the floor. They were able to take Ohio State out of things they wanted to do with their defense. They're going to try to do the same thing, really try to take McKnight and Lowe out of it, make the front line of Purdue beat them.
You know, Gene Cady, he's not going to want to lose this game. He's going to downplay that, of course. Bruce Weber, 18 years as an assistant on the bench with Gene Cady. And right now, Purdue and the Fighting Illini. Jim Barber, Mike Kelly have the call. Enjoy the first half.
Guys, you are correct. Cady doesn't want to lose this one, and it has been tough around the Purdue campus ever since Purdue lost to Iowa the other night. The big story is Weber and Cady. They coached together for almost 2 decades. Bruce said he spent half of his life with them at Purdue. Great friends, and both, while they're smiling right now, will be pretty intense in just a matter of moments, because it's a major conference game early in the season. Starting lineups, the Boilermakers have 3 guards as usual. Illinois has 3 on the front line. Purdue had 0 scoring. Mike, from Purdue in the front line against Iowa, will need something today.
Exactly. Purdue is really thin inside. Booker out of the game. They need to do something inside, and then on the outside, there's your man, Kenneth Lowe, to lead Purdue. And D. Brown for Illinois, going to have to step up tonight. Battle of the outside perimeter guards, going to need to step up.
I was watching D in practice yesterday. Man, that guy's got energy.
Yeah, he's a water bug all over the court.
Hasn't shot the ball particularly well, but doing a lot of other things as Ted Hillary will get this game started. Nice to have you with us on this 3rd game of the triple header, the headliner game.
Purdue opens up in man-to-man. Illinois had some trouble with zone earlier in the season, so we look at man-to-man. Purdue's going to get in their face after a couple of 2-a-day practices, coming off 3 losses in the last 4 games. Purdue wants to exert themselves and get physical inside.
Around Purdue, they say if the coach isn't happy, nobody's happy.
That's the truth. Gene Cady lets you know it if he's not happy, and he's got this Purdue team hungry today.
Boilermakers had a very intensive workout last night. Lasted nearly 2 hours. Guys taking charges, falling on the floor for loose balls. Should be ready to go today. McKnight is in some trouble, though. And already on the first possession, it dips under 10. And now 5 seconds. McKnight must create. Got the shot with time running out. Well done.
Yeah, not exactly a textbook shot, but got the job done as he made it. Purdue is going to be a team that's going to take it deep into the shot clock today. They want to wear out Illinois, work the ball around, make them work on defense.
Illinois is your top scorer in the conference at almost 80 points a game. Brown's got an open 3. He's been shooting some long shots and missing many of them so far this year. McKnight exploding to the basket, and Purdue has the early advantage.
Well, you said it, Jim. D. Brown, his ticket to the NBA is the outside shot. He needs to step up, hit that shot. He becomes so much more complete of a player if you have to guard him around the perimeter.
Doug Altenberger was talking about on a recent telecast about Brown is that he's just shooting from too far of a distance, not getting enough spin on the ball. Cady is still worried about Brown and other things, but his gang came over yesterday, worked last night, went through a shoot-around today, and as far as he's concerned, they are ready. But Doug was mentioning the rotation on the ball didn't seem to be there on some of his longer range shots. Would you go with that?
I believe it. I think D. Brown, obviously, he's been playing the game his whole life. He's got a shooting touch, but sometimes when you extend yourself a little bit too much, you change your shot, you don't get the follow through. And right now, D. Brown is experiencing that. He needs to step up a little bit, get his confidence early, close to the game, close to the basket, and then back his way out, start hitting the deep shots.
McKnight with the first 2 baskets called for traveling. Bruce Weber said the thing about this game is somebody loses, and that makes it hard on that person's family. with the idea that he and Katie spent so much time together, won a lot of Big Ten championships at Purdue, and advanced deep into the NCAA tournament on a number of occasions.
Yes, and Purdue exerting some defensive pressure right there. Bruce Weber's not going to be happy about that, and that's what Purdue's going to do. They're going to get in your face. Long passes turn into turnovers in the Big Ten, and that's what you see right there.
Bruce very vocal the other night. In fact, at halftime, actually broke a chair trying to fire up one of his guys, and it worked in Nick Smith.
Yeah, he doesn't miss a field goal in that game. He scores 22 points, a career high. Well, sometimes you got to break a chair.
Darren Williams trying to penetrate, and a foul called inside by Hillary.
Darren Williams is so important for this Illinois team. He really brings the two-point guard set when he's on the court with Dee Brown. Both of those guys can handle the ball. And in fact, a lot of people think Darren Williams has got better NBA potential because he understands the game. Dee Brown's got the speed, but Darren Williams knows the game, and he sets a lot of things up for this Illini team.
When the two guys were recruited here, a lot of people said, well, those are 2 point guards on the floor at the same time. Bill Self said, so what?
Yeah, they're 2 great point guards.
Sure.
Exactly. That's what Self thought. Unfortunately, he's not around to coach him anymore.
Lowe tries to keep it alive, and with his balance, somehow does it. Well, Purdue is working the strategy to perfection so far. 3 minutes into the game, Illinois with just 1 field goal, and Purdue with a 2-point lead and taking time off the clock.
Yeah, you said it, Jim. We talked about it before the game. Purdue is going to work this shot clock till they get what they want, and a 3-pointer by Teague is definitely a good shot for them.
Mike, this is a much more selective Purdue team than the one I saw in Iowa City on Wednesday.
Well, and that's good for Purdue because the team that showed up in Iowa City is not a team that's going to have a winning record in the Big Ten.
Illinois able to get inside. They'll get a second chance with Randall, but as he tried to hand it off, turnover. Time now for the Pontiac Keys to the game.
Well, we've got a couple for both teams. You start off with Purdue. They need to get off to a quick start, and they've done that. They're up 7-2. Illinois has had the lead early in all but one of their games so far. Then you have to stop Dee Brown in transition. He's so good up and down the court. And for Illinois, get on the glass. Purdue's thin inside. Take advantage of that, and then minimize the sloppy turnovers. We've seen some of those already today. A couple turnovers, bad passes. You know, Illinois really teeters on that fine line between a fast-paced, good up-tempo team and getting sloppy. And when they're sloppy, they're really bad. So they need to stay away from those sloppy turnovers.
We should mention in the Pontiac Keys of the game that you did not add that get off to a quick start after Purdue led 7-2. That was long before the game. You already had that programmed in.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
Just in case people at home were wondering. On the loose ball rebound, here comes Illinois and Rich McBride in the front court line. Trying to get something going. But that traveling won't help, and more than 4 minutes into the first half, Purdue's strategy is working nicely. Katie and company by 5.
They say soft drinks need to be prominently displayed. Well, this is fine for other soft drinks. It's not prominent enough for refreshing 7-Up. Now this should get some attention. Beautiful. Don't be shy. Wait till next week when they go on sale. I'm bringing people in already.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses and the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new power of Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Meet the king.
Doug?
Yes. The queen.
Shut up!
And the father.
Hello, darling. It's your daddy.
Weeknights at 9 and 10. Get 2 doses of a king. One at 9.
One makes me go like this.
And another at 10.
The other one like this.
So how's that sound?
All great all the time.
The King of Queens. Weeknights at 9 and 10 on Channel 26, The U.
This ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Cooper Tire, proud to be the official tire of the Big Ten Conference. Cooper Tires don't give up a thing. Pontiac, fuel for the soul. And by Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance. Advance Auto Parts.
Because Purdue has been more of the selective team than Illinois, the shooting favors the Boilermakers by a great deal, 60% in the early going for Purdue. And Illinois struggling at 1 for 6, so Katie's game plan for the first 4 minutes working nicely.
Yeah, and I think, a lot of coaches will break down a game into little segments, and sometimes they'll do it by the TV timeouts at 16 and 12 and 8 and so on and so forth. And right now, Purdue did everything they needed to do in those first 4 minutes to get out to the early lead, taking the good shots, working the shot clock, causing a couple turnovers. A very good start for this Purdue team.
We were talking in the break, Mike, important for Illinois not to get frustrated early.
Yeah, it can happen when you play a team as disciplined as Purdue or any team under Gene Katie. It's very tough to get your own style and enforce your will over them because they're very disciplined. And if Illinois gets frustrated, this could become a long night if they can't get those fast breaks and they get frustrated.
Boilermakers handled the trap without any problem. Get inside the clock, shot blocked. Here comes the one-man fast break, leading the fast break.
Well, that's where he's at his best. D. Brown needs to get up and down the court. He'll make more than he misses of those.
A wind-up free by Teague, who hit one earlier, and a foul called on Purdue going over the back. And that will lead to a substitution by Katie and a quick hook.
Yeah, well, that's not exactly what Purdue wants to do. You can take advantage of the missed layup by D. Brown, but, you didn't really have numbers there for Purdue. They got up and down the court and end up turning the ball back over to Illinois. You need to take advantage and turn it around on a team that's going to get up and down the court. When they turn it over, slow it down, get down in your half-court set, work the shot clock, frustrate the Illinois team.
Illini shooting just 1 for 7, and again they have this extraordinary record at home of 45-1 stretching over a few years. The only loss to a very good Michigan State team. Nick Smith, a little high-low activity and a foul call, and Augustine will shoot free throws.
Well, Jim, this Purdue team is really struggled as of late on the road. A tough loss at Colorado State, controversial loss with how much time's left on the clock. They beat Baylor at Baylor, but then they go to Iowa, lose to Iowa, a team that got knocked off by Northwestern today, to Sean Morris's delight. But, Purdue is really struggling to find themselves right now on the road. It's not easy to do to have a 4-game stretch, and now they find themselves in Illinois, a team higher ranked than them, probably a better team, and when you get at home, it's always not easy to win. So Purdue really struggling, going to have to find their game today.
Hey, you notice how Mike Gleason tried to bait him, tried to get him to respond to that Northwestern. Very calm, as if that's what they're supposed to do over at home.
Sean's good. You can't bait him.
Can't rattle him, can you?
Nope, he's solid.
McKnight draws the double, but Purdue having no trouble getting out of it. That's something Illinois worked on with a lot of effort yesterday. And we'll have 17 on the possession and 14-31 for the first half.
And we've yet to see the zone defense from Illinois. I'm sure we're going to see a little bit of it because at some point with this Purdue team, you have to make them shoot from the outside. Make Teague beat you, make Lowe beat you, because inside they're struggling right now. So make them beat you from the outside, because if they don't do that, Purdue's got nothing going for them.
And that's what the Hawkeyes did the other night. Purdue was just 6 for 26 from the 3. Nwankwo goes inside and misses. He's the freshman out of Ann Arbor, and here comes Brown. Illinois trying to get something going. Smith can hit that shot. And now 1 for 8 for the Illini. Nwankwo will try it again, perhaps.
Well, another quick push the ball up the court type of play for Purdue when they find themselves in a bad spot. Again, take advantage of one. Illinois, they've got Nick Smith, a guy who can shoot the 3, but certainly not the best three-point shooter. He misses it. Take advantage, slow it down, set something up on offense.
Little backdoor to D. Brown, well done by Augustine to the sophomore. Sophomore to sophomore.
Yeah, excuse me, John, that was just a nice play. Backdoor cut. So good to see the fundamentals in college basketball. The backdoor cut, easy basket for D. Brown.
Yeah, you were a fundamental kind of guy at the University of Wisconsin. That's why you got to the Final Four.
Well, when you can't jump very high and you're pretty slow, you better do something right.
How about that?
Well, I couldn't do that either. Augustine, the energy for the Illinois team. He's a double-double guy. 10 points, 10 boards. That's his MO. And he can bring the energy and the Orange Crush to their feet.
And Ted Hillary is down. The other night in Iowa City, Steve Olson went down. His knees appear to be locked up, and now we're looking at Ted right now, Larry Leverance of the Purdue athletic staff over there.
Well, you know, yeah, let's see what happens here with Ted Hillary under the basket. Somehow he must get clipped or turn an ankle. Oh, boy, I don't know. He went down on his own. I think the L in Illini on the paint there grabbed him. He turned an ankle or a hip or a knee.
We have both Ted, Larry Leverance, and Al Martindale, a trainer at the University of Illinois. Well, I hope it's not me. That's 2 nights in a row I've seen an official go down.
I don't know, but I'm going to keep my distance.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Well, the paint is thick over on that sideline. And he's walking ginger. I don't know.
Quite a limp.
Yeah, he's not going to keep going. Well, I'd be surprised. He got his mug on TV.
All right, Ted, we hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Saw Rich Falk before the game, head of officials for the conference.
Yes.
Number 11, Austin Parkinson.
Boy. Well, you hate to see that, you know, and I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. These officials right in the middle of the action, and on any given play, they're up and down the court and could trip over something. You see it, he's walking ginger. He's hurt.
So we'll try to find out about Ted's status. In the meantime, we'll go with 2 officials on the floor, and that's unusual in itself. Lowe getting inside and missing. A lot of diving for loose balls by Purdue last night in its workout. It pays off, and able to get a timeout for Purdue and hold on to the possession.
Yeah, you get the feeling that's what Gene Cady wanted to see today. He wanted energy out of his team. You know, this Purdue team needs to have that, especially on the road. They've got to get on the floor, get on the glass, hit the shots, just show that you want this game. It's a very emotional game with your assistant coach on the other sideline, and they've come to play today.
These 2 guys, as we mentioned, combined for a lot of wins at Purdue. Bruce was more the, not only the strategy guy from time to time, but also the protector of Gene Cady. Whenever Gene would get really emotional, Bruce would try to pull him back, and Bruce was sharing yesterday one time he got his hand around Gene and got it stuck in his sport coat, one of the pockets. And as he pulled him back, the pocket ripped. So he was really worried that Coach would notice it, and Gene did not till the next day when they got together at Purdue for some strategy. And Bruce had to own up. Oh, boy. Bruce volunteered to pay for it, and Gene's response was, "You can't afford it."
Oh, there's too many good stories when you're with someone for that long. Boy, I bet they could talk all night about the funny stories they've had in their 18 years together.
Absolutely. And obviously for these 2 hours, it's away from that type of atmosphere and all those good memories and concentrating on winning. Weber's team started very slowly, hitting just 1 of 8, trailing in the game 7-6. The numbers for Cady, I would think the low scoring certainly favored them at this point.
Oh, I agree. You know, we've talked about the way they want to exert themselves on defense. They've got to stop Illinois in transition. They want to use the shot clock. All these things are going to lead to a low-scoring game if Purdue wants to win, if they're going to win, I should say.
Last 3 possessions for Purdue have been empty. That's a 3 on the way, and it is too long.
Quick look, that's what Illinois will do. They'll put the ball up fast, and when they're great, they're great. Or when they're hitting their shots, they're great. But right now, they're cold, and it's not turning into any points for them.
Illinois is 0 for 3 from the arc. Melvin Buckley, who struggled the other night against Iowa, in the game along with Austin Parkinson handling out front. Purdue needs to get some offense from its big guys. Instead, one of the little guys gets inside, Kenneth Lowe. And the conference's best free throw shooter's got a couple coming up. Well, if you're not going to get support from other people, then maybe posting or moving the smaller players, the guards around, will make a difference.
Yeah, you bet. We see Wisconsin do it all the time in the Big Ten. Big Ten fans will watch a Wisconsin team, and they'll see Devin Harris post up and Freddie Owens and all these players for Wisconsin. And it's led to a winning record because generally guards do not know how to defend the post. They just can't do it. And Kenneth Lowe takes advantage right there, gets in the post, gets a big man in the air, and gets the foul, goes to the line. And another point we should talk about, there should be no missed free throws. I mean, guys should go to the line, and they should be shooting just like Kenneth Lowe does, you know, right around 80%. And it's a shame when you see guys around 50% on easy baskets. And you have to shake your head and wonder how they miss so many easy shots at the line.
Your percentage was pretty good, I assume, in college.
Well, I hope so. let's have nobody go look in the archives, okay?
Williams with a long-range three. Illinois is way off the mark on its outside shooting.
Well, and it's time for them to get it inside a little bit. I mean, they've tried their hand from the outside. Let's pound it inside. Purdue is decimated inside without Booker. They're pretty thin, and you've got to take advantage. Quit taking the easy shot on the outside. Get it inside.
We're back to a three official crew. Ted Hillary has returned. J.D. Collins spots a foul. That's on Illinois, and we'll get a timeout with that. So good to see Ted back as we have our full complement of guys. Well, Mike said it's important for Illinois to go inside, and when the Illini do, here's what happens. Still, it is 9-6 Purdue, more than 8 minutes gone.
Good afternoon, Illini fans. Our first promotion
Advance Auto Parts. No matter when or where.
There's nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price. We're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
One flat rate, right?
Yep.
LA, please. Hey, do you want to be friends? You seem a little tense. Do you mind if we stop and see the Grand Canyon? Woo! I can smell the ocean.
Flat rate pricing. Bad idea for taxis. Good idea for online trading. At Ameritrade, you pay one flat rate of $10.99 for all internet equity trades. Sign up now and trade commission-free for 5 weeks. Plus, get our 5-second guarantee. Go to ameritrade.com/TV/ or call 866-373-0622.
What are you holding now? A six-pack. A six-pack? Brilliant! What's it do? Well, I figured out how to carry 6 beers at the same time. Carry 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant! Let's drink them. You know, I've been thinking, it might not be the smartest idea to drink 6 beers at the same time. Don't drink 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant! Brilliant!
Drink Guinness draft straight from the bottle and always enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses and the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new power of Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Let's take a moment to hear from Illinois coach Bruce Weber on facing his idol, Gene Cady.
There'll be some butterflies in the stomach. Once the ball's thrown up, we'll forget about it. And then after the game, it'll be tough again, because whether I win or he wins, somebody's going to feel bad about the situation. And I owe a lot to him. In my mind, he's a Hall of Famer.
And Gene was responsible in part for Bruce getting the job at Illinois. Ron Gunther, the AD, had a number of conversations with Gene about hiring Bruce, and Gene spoke pretty favorably of him, and why not?
Well, yeah, you would expect that someone who was on his staff. Obviously, they got along very well, and you have to have a sense of pride, like one of your kids going away to college or getting a big job. Gene Cady, I'm sure, was proud to have one of his former assistants land in the Big Ten.
Absolutely. He's got a former player, Kevin Stallings, an assistant, doing very nicely at Vandy. Vanderbilt undefeated, facing Kentucky tonight. And a former player, Matt Painter, who was an assistant to Weber, Illinois, doing nicely at Southern Illinois. So the Purdue family is progressing well this year.
It's a coaching tree. How about we start the smile count on Gene Cady? Well, right now there's 0. We can start. I've been checking. There's 0 smiles so far.
He smiles as much as your former coach Dick Benton used to smile out there.
That's about right. And you get the feeling sometimes when he does smile, he doesn't mean it.
No.
I think he smiles after what he would expect to be a bad call. We would say it was a bad call.
He asked me one time, how come that camera's always in my face? Well, you're one of the most known coaches in college basketball. Illinois, another opportunity to get closer. This is Ingram from way outside, and Illinois' poor shooting continues. Now just 3 of 14. We greet you from the Assembly Hall today. It's a defensive battle And I know my partner Mike Kelly appreciates that because he was the Minister of Defense for the Badgers a few seasons back. And that's the way Purdue likes it today. Keep that game low scoring.
Yeah, that is the good news for Purdue right now. Low scoring game, able to get out defensively, get in the face of Illinois, and make them take tough shots. And right now, Illinois is not connecting at home.
See if the Illini can find something inside. How come they're not going inside as much?
Well, it's hard to say. I think, first of all, they're a perimeter-oriented team. You know, you've got Dee Brown and Darren Williams out there. These guys leading them from the outside. And you always get some easy shots. You can always take threes, but you have to work to get it in the post. And right now, they're settling for the easy shot on the outside, and they're not taking the time to defend in the post. Or to send it in the post, I should say.
Not a popular call, Mike, but the foul is on the freshman, Brian Randall.
Number 1 on Randall, 6 from the Illini.
We talked about the Badgers' fine play today. Found themselves down in that game at Michigan State by 12 early because the Spartans were red hot. The swing offense, expect more people to start doing that or trying to learn it?
Well, you'd think they would, but, you know, Bo Ryan's been around for a while, and it's surprising that it's taken so long for other people to catch on with this system because it's won at every level. He was a great coach at UW-Platteville, and then he went to UWM, and now at Wisconsin. People just have such a hard time defending that Wisconsin team, and they do not beat themselves.
We saw Louisville's win moments ago. Louisville and Cincinnati. Mark this down on your calendar. January 21st at Louisville.
Yeah, Jim, you're real high on Cincinnati.
Boy.
You think that team is tops in the country, one of the top 5, you'd say?
Great shooters, played defense like there's nobody else's business, and have been going 10, 11 deep so far.
Yeah, that's the amazing part. At the college level, to have that many contributors on your team means come March, your team will be the force to be reckoned with.
Teague has had the hot hand for Purdue. Knocks down another short jumper, and the Boilermakers lead 13-6. David Teague has got 7.
Well, I don't know if he even had possession of that ball before he shot it. He bobbled it. I don't think that's a catch in the NFL, but it's 2 points in an NCAA basketball game.
Probably get a review in the NFL. That one
yeah.
just short. And Brown able to dig it out for the Illini. Dee Brown from the free throw line. Illinois can hit nothing.
Yeah, you know, and if you're Dee Brown, you're Darren Williams, and you're supposed to be as good as everybody says you are, you've got to take control on offense right now. You need to slow it up. You need to find a way inside of your offense to get it in. Even if your post players don't take the shot, they need to at least touch it. Force the defense to react, and then maybe you'll open up some better looks outside. But right now, Illinois cannot hit anything.
Purdue playing like it practiced last night. And Cartello, they want more offense from him, Mike. They're getting it. And how about the start by the Boilermakers in a place where the visiting teams rarely win?
Well, yeah, we said get off to a quick start for Purdue. Take this crowd out of it. Illinois is not used to playing from behind, especially to start out the game. And Gene Katie's got to be pleased with the way his team has rebounded. Let's take a look at the last basket for Purdue. Cartello almost fakes a screen and then just comes inside. When your big man is able to read defenses, it really makes things easier on offense, because as a big man, you can't just be expected to set the screen. You have to read how the players defend it. Right there, he saw a chance to slip it. He goes, slips it towards the basket, and good job of recognition getting him the ball.
Today's game is brought to you by 7-Up, and your local 7-Up bottler makes 7-Up yours. Jim Barber and Mike Kelly, it is sold out, but it's been quiet so far. That's got a lot to do with the way Purdue has been playing in the first 11 minutes plus.
Let's watch what they do coming out of the timeout here. I'm sure they set something up trying to get a good shot inside.
It goes inside to Augustine, and there's your good shot.
Hey, there we go. Bruce Weber knows what he's doing. There's a reason he's got the job.
Absolutely.
Out of the timeout. Nice play. Get it inside. Go to the bread and butter. Nice shot. Left-hand hook shot by Augustine.
Purdue has used the possession clock well so far, working deep into a number of possessions. Illinois with just 8 points, and all of them have come inside.
Yep, and you know, just as slow as Purdue is on offense, that's how quick Illinois is on offense themselves. And it's really a battle of wills right now. And Purdue winning, I think, because they're able to take their time on offense and get good shots.
Mike, if you're Illinois, do you want to make an effort to speed Purdue up?
Well, you can do what you can, but, you know, Gene Katie's teams, you've seen them over the years, they just will not break. They are not going to get sucked into your game plan, and they'll take care of the ball no matter how hard you pressure them, and that's the difficulty of trying to get Purdue out of their game plan. They just don't break character.
Augustine has 6 of Illinois' 8 points. Brown, the other basket, the other 2 points. They looked backdoor there, but McKnight was ready.
Yeah, good job on defense by Purdue, sitting in the lane, not letting the backdoor happen.
Darren Williams, a little less restriction with the wires in his mouth due to the broken jaw. A gutty game last week against Illinois State. His first game back, they thought he'd go 15 minutes. He went 30.
Yeah, he goes 30 and really steps up big for them. You know, without him in the game, they probably lose against Illinois State. And he really is a special player for them. He sees the court, he makes the nice pass, and he's obviously got some offense to back it up as well.
And Purdue getting a little sloppy and out of control. We have a timeout with 7:21 to go. Gene Katie and Bruce Weber, you knew they wouldn't be sitting down in this one. A lot of intensity early.
This is Bob. Bob is looking cool. And with a call to Enzyte about natural male enhancement, Bob is living large. In a few short weeks, Bob has a big new spring of confidence. A generous swelling of pride. And the one thing every man deserves, a little well-earned respect from the neighborhood. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit enzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement. This is Bob. Looks like Bob is lighting up the lanes. And because of a call to Enzyte about natural male enhancement, looks like Bob is really on a roll. Why, after a few short weeks, Bob has a lane full of confidence, an uplifting measure of pride. And now everyone can see Bob has added a whole new spin to his game. Free samples of Enzyte available while supplies last. Call or visit enzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement.
This is a crucial moment for the male. Cohabitation. It is a show of commitment. It is an indication of responsibility.
Hey.
It is love.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses and the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new power of Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
A few years ago, Mike, David Teague was cut from his junior varsity team. Now he's playing major Division I college basketball. Purdue is thankful for that.
Well, he's a much different player. Last year, he sets the record for most three-pointers made by a freshman in Purdue history, and that tells you one thing, confidence, and he's got plenty of it. Take a look at all the shots he's made, three-pointers, short jump shots. He's a confident young player, and you love to have those on your team, especially as in a scoring position.
I asked him, how did you deal with being cut? You know, at a sensitive young age, you can get pretty personal about it. He said, well, I had a lot of support in the family, and it wasn't personal to me. I just kept hanging around, and the coaches got used to me coming back.
The old gym rat. You got to love a player like that. Refuses to get out of the gym, and it's paid off for him, being able to play at Purdue, and really has made a name for himself.
Sure has a terrific smile, and his shooting today well above his average has been a difference. You saw McKnight shadowing D. Brown. I think if Brown went out to the northeast section of the parking lot, he'd go with him.
Yeah, the old Hoosiers, you know, where he is guard D. Brown. I want to know what flavor gum he's got.
Gene Hackman approach here. Williams had to give up his dribble. They're under 10. And now 5. Gonna force one. Good defense by Purdue.
Oh, yeah, that's all Purdue defense right there. Just not letting Illinois get into the lane. No penetration, either with a pass or with the dribble. And Illinois didn't know what to do, and they finally had to take an off-balance three-pointer by Williams.
Half-court game being employed by the Boilermakers, working well with 6.5 to go in the opening half. Low-scoring game. McKnight got Purdue started with a couple of jumpers. But the Boilermakers turned the ball over.
Oh, almost a really nice play there. If it weren't bobbled by McKnight, they had a great backdoor cut. He would have made one pass and it would have been a dunk for Purdue.
Illinois has got to find some points from the outside.
D. Brown really seems lost right now. He hasn't been able to find a rhythm, kind of running around being shadowed by McKnight and hasn't been able to get anything.
Well, Nick Smith was money the other night. Did not miss a shot. 6 of 6 field goals, 9 of 9 free throws. Had a three-pointer in there. He could be huge for Illinois today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got a 7'2" player who's able to hit from the outside. If he shows up, scores, doesn't miss a field goal, hits every shot he takes, he's obviously a force to be reckoned with. And inside, he'll be able to take apart Purdue.
It was 15-6 Purdue. Last 6 points of the game to the Illini. Purdue again works deep in the clock. McKnight's got a lane and missed it.
Let's take a look at Nick Smith and how he does it. When you're 7'2" and you get the ball near the post, no one's going to block your shot. What? He gets it by the three-point line. He just backs in a little bit, and he knows that you cannot block his shot. So he goes to a little turnaround, hits the shot, and that was effective today, and it was effective in their last game versus Ohio State. As you see, he doesn't miss a field goal. 22 points. Great outing for Nick Smith.
That's a motivation from his coach at halftime, which really paid off. Smith has already graduated, moving on to grad school here at Illinois. That jumper misses, tipped back up, no, by Randall. Augustine tries to save and does.
Nice play by Augustine, saving the ball under his own basket. Always nice to do, especially if your team can control it.
What a beautiful pass.
Pay back the big guy. He saves the ball. You got to get it back to him. He knows what to do with it. Nice job by Augustine. Saving the ball, and D. Brown finds him for the dunk.
They call it showing him some love.
That's right. Show him a little love.
Purdue 15, Illinois 14. We have tightened up considerably since this game began, and Purdue had a 9-point lead. Another activity from the guards and just some great passing. That's what the point guys can do for this Illinois team.
Yeah, we talked about it. When you're D. Brown, if you're supposed to be as great as everyone says you are, you've got to make plays like that. You've got to control the offense, and what a nice look by him as he drives baseline, recognizes the defense sliding over, and shows a little love to the big man.
And you're right. When you go inside, you do have to work a little harder, but it usually pays off with more dividends than what you're trying to produce from the outside, which so far for Illinois has been nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You'll always get those three-point shots. It's like hunting a little bit. If you ever go hunting, you'll always get a couple looks, but you got to wait till the right one. My old coach Dick Bennett said, when we were struggling, he said, I would never go hunting with you guys. You turn and shoot the first thing you saw. And of course, we didn't laugh that hard at the time, but looking back on it, it was pretty funny. And you see that sometimes with teams where they just take the first look available, and you'll always get a three-pointer, whether it's 5 seconds into the shot clock or 30, but work it inside a little bit, try to get a better look. And when you do that, you're scoring more points, and you really look better on offense.
Surprise, Mr. Bennett returned to basketball in Washington State?
Yeah, up in Wazoo there. Well, a little bit. When he left, he was pretty burnt out, but, a coach is a coach, and he couldn't get it out of his system. And I think seeing Bo Ryan and the success he had at Wisconsin kind of got him fired up to get back into it and get back into the game. And I'm glad to see he's out there doing a good job at Washington State, winning the game on the road at Cal, and really leading that team, trying to build a program. He's good at that.
Above 500 for them out in the Pac-10.
That's amazing.
Here, a three-point game, and Purdue back on offense, and we're hitting the 4-minute mark. Fast-moving game, and it favors the Boilermakers. Cartello backing in on the low post. Basket and one, and Ivan Cartello, little if no offense the last couple of games, has 2 field goals, Mike, in this one.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. If we can see Cartello get inside like this and make some plays, not only get the foul, but he makes the shot. Right now, without Booker for Purdue, they're trying to find an inside presence, and Cartello is not an offensive threat, but if he can chip in, not necessarily 15 points a game, but 8 to 10, he'll be a player that really can help them out inside.
Purdue has answered Illinois' run with a run of its own, and the lead is up to 6.
Get up! Come on! Get up! Get up! Come on! Get up! Get up!
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new power of Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Let's go. I've got a lot of sandwiches to make.
Will it never end?
Here's the deal you won't want to miss. 2 Arby's sourdough melts for just $3. With tender oven-roasted beef topped with tangy cheddar. Or roasted ham topped with creamy Swiss cheese. All on toasted sourdough bread. Hurry in and get 2 Arby's sourdough melts for just $3. A deal this good won't last long.
What are you eating today?
Mike Leach and Sean Morris back in the Big Ten studios. Sean, just like football, a good defensive team can really mess with your offense.
Game unfolding kind of like we thought it would. A very tough defensive battle. Illinois needs to really go inside a little bit more. They dug themselves a hole. They have to go inside to exert that athleticism.
Coming up at halftime, we'll get you caught up on all the Big Ten action. In the Big East, Pittsburgh 50-0. They had their hands full down in Miami. They go to overtime. Mr. Barber, that slam dunk of James Augustine you showed. Tell me that didn't remind you of Sean Morris, huh?
Not at all, Mike, but now that you mention it, Sean did have some post moves.
Oh, you bet.
Way back in the 50s or 60s when he played. You know, when they opened the show today in our Big Ten studios, they show Sean playing back with those short shorts back in the early 80s. It seems like 100 years ago in college basketball, doesn't it?
Yeah, I never was a part of that. I was away from the short shorts. Probably better with these pale white legs. Cover them up.
I don't know, applaud Sean, though. He's going strong after 5 hours. I don't know how they're keeping him awake there, but doing good work.
A lot of coffee.
What's important here in the last 3 minutes, partner?
Well, you know, it depends on who you're talking about. For Purdue, they've got to do more of the same. They need to take their time on offense, play good defense like they have been, certainly take care of the ball. Don't throw it away like that. And for Illinois, you've got to start getting inside. Sean said it. We've been saying it before that. We just need to, Illinois needs to get the ball inside. If not for a basket inside, at least to make Purdue sag a little bit. Keep the defense honest. When you get it inside, your big men can pass it back out, but at least work it in. Run it through the post a little bit on offense.
Low, a quick shot off the pass from McKnight, and 2 Boilermakers up for the rebound. That'll give them a reload on the shot clock.
Well, offensive rebounds are so important. That's what makes Michigan State so good in the past couple of years. They get extra chances on offense. It makes it a lot easier to score points.
And again, Purdue with plenty of patience on offense, as it has been for almost the entire first half. This is Kiefer. Matt Kiefer inside, a sophomore from Evansville who grew up on Purdue.
Yeah, Kiefer and Cartello, 2 guys that have to step up, doing a good job today, filling in for Booker.
Approaching 2 minutes in the first half. Williams spinning and passing and picked off. Purdue back with an edge. Give it up. Unable to convert 3 against 1. Katie is incensed. He should be. And instead of an easy-made basket on the other end, a foul called on Purdue. It's a non-shooting foul, but still, that's a basket Boilermakers should have had.
Well, yeah, in a game like this, you can't afford to lose opportunities like that. Purdue gets on the break. You know, I think T could have dropped it back. Instead, he takes a shot. He misses it. You know, we talked before the game, and I don't know if this is just me being spooky, right, or what, but these backboards at Illinois are slippery. They're slippery. The ball just glides off of it. It doesn't catch like it does in most arenas, and I think it's an advantage for Illinois because they're used to it, and opposing teams aren't. That's a ball right there that just seemed to glide off the backboard, and they end up not getting the shot in transition.
Now, I have to ask you, did you win games here when you played at Wisconsin?
I don't know. Well, maybe 1 or 2. I don't know. Well,
just checking.
I didn't shoot, so it didn't bother me that much, but warm-ups, okay?
Sure. Defense was your game.
And Brown is on the ground. Let's take a look at the backboards. See, there's something on there.
Looks good to me.
Look at that.
Sounds like an Oliver Stone conspiracy or something.
No, I'm telling you. We'll get some post-game with some of these players. Let's get T.
Let's see what happened to D. Brown.
Buckley for
Now,
low.
this is not going to be good for Illinois if he goes down. Obviously, leader of this team is the floor general. He gets it in transition. Can't afford to lose him. Not when you're down 4 at home against a tough Purdue team who's come out ready to play today. They've come out tough and have not backed down at all.
Darren Williams missed 3 games for Illinois this year with a broken jaw.
And Bill Self is somewhere saying, see, that's why you get 2-point guards on your team.
Yes.
Shot at Jay Price.
Now Martindale's been pretty busy today. First with official Ted Hillary, who went out and came back, and now with D. Brown.
Yeah, good to see him up and walking. Could just be the wind knocked out of him. You never know. But he's a gamer. I'm guessing that isn't the last we've seen of him. He doesn't seem to be limping. I think he just took a shot.
Some people close to D with some applause and hoping they'll see him back. They may sit him out the last minute and a half.
Well, not the worst. Let him catch his breath. Let him sort of take a check on things and make sure he's okay. Take the time at halftime and get him ready for the second half if he's able.
Brown in the first half, just 1 made field goal on 1 of 4 shooting. His running mate, Darren Williams, 2 of 6, just 4 points.
Yeah, no surprise they're down by 4 when you mention those stats.
Where would Illinois be without James Augustine? 10 points, 7 rebounds.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the double-double man. He's been real aggressive on offense and on defense, able to get some loose balls, come up with some dunks, get the crowd into it. Really the only highlight for Illinois.
We're starting to see a more aggressive Nick Smith over the last couple of games.
Well, and that's good for Illinois. Nick Smith, the guy who really has been touted as not playing with a ton of emotion, has come out playing with all emotion tonight. A lot of confidence hitting the outside shot.
If there's a constructive criticism point about Smith, is that he's very intelligent but sometimes overanalyzes the game, just needs to play.
Yeah.
He played there.
Yeah, too intelligent for his own good almost.
Good defense by Smith and help side defense by Augustine, and Illinois will have the ball out of bounds, a chance to tie or go ahead. And D. Brown is back.
And the Orange Crush is happy to see him.
Illinois could get a 2-for-1 here if he gets a quick shot off. They'll go a little backdoor. It's to Brown, and that one is knocked away. Look at Augustine and Brown hustle. It's out of bounds to Purdue. No lack of energy on both sides today.
Oh, you got to love it, don't you?
Sure.
I mean, this is just fun. I mean, you watch these guys. They're going after it. They want everything. You see 2 guys go up for the block. And all 4 of them. Look at that. That's a rugby match. They're going after the ball. Just fun to see the excitement, the energy in college basketball. You lose some of that in the NBA. That's what you get in college basketball. That's why you tune in every week.
Boilermakers like a pack of hungry wolves after losing to Iowa and after having to go through some practices with a not very happy coach over the last couple days.
Yeah. That'll get you ready to play. Trying to practice with Gene Cady when he's not happy.
Turnovers in the last few minutes have really hurt Purdue because the Boilermakers have had opportunities to expand their lead. Instead, it is at 2, and that may be generous at this point. Already 10 Purdue turnovers, 9 on the Illinois side.
Yeah, that's too many turnovers. I think for a Big Ten team to be successful, you've got to hover around 12 to 14 turnovers. Anything more than that's going to be in trouble, and these teams are approaching that number in the first half alone.
Let's see what Williams makes happen in the final 10 seconds. Brown, tough catch at 3.
He never squared up. You got to square up to the basket. You want to hit that shot. His feet were never underneath him.
Buckley practices that at Purdue during the course of a day, and he almost got it. Instead, in a defensive-minded half-court game, it is Cady over Weber. At the break, Purdue 22, Illinois 20, and guys, this is what we expected when Purdue came with a strong defensive plan.
That's right, Jim. 59 points a game they give up. We all talk about Illinois scoring about 79 a game, but, you know, except for James Augustine, haven't heard much about Williams or Brown, for that matter.
And what they have to do, what Illinois has to do right now, is go inside to James Augustine. He should be having 4 and 5 touches every 4 and 5 possessions, rather than settling for the quick 3 as Illinois did in that last possession. When they've been successful, they've probed Purdue either off the dribble penetration and the leave at the rim or throw it inside. And even if the post player doesn't score, Mike, what it forces Purdue to do is collapse down. Then on the kick out, you might have a better look at the 3.
Well, Sean, Michigan State endured one of, if not the toughest non-conference schedules in America.
I don't know who had a tougher one.
Well, okay, they had the toughest one. They took a 17-5 lead up in Madison today, but then things backfired.
Wisconsin coming back, Clayton Hansen off the bench, knocking down a long three. And then a lot of players stepping up in the absence of Orlando Tucker, but none bigger than Zach Morley right there. Nice dribble penetration, 2 of his 13.
Devin Harris, he's the go-to guy right now. He had 21 points in the ball game. Wisconsin, they're unbeaten. They win their 11th. And 21 straight at the Kohl Center right now. They shoot 55%. Michigan State shot 51%. You know, Sean, what really impresses me about Wisconsin is the fact that Kirk Penny's no longer there. They don't seem to miss him.
Well, a couple of years ago, what happened with Wisconsin was the fact that, hey, who's going to play point guard? You're going to move Devin Harris over there. How is Wisconsin going to respond? I think they've responded very well with Devin Harris at the point guard. Conversely, Kirk Penny, a lot of guys stepping up and filling new roles. You've got Devin Harris, who's not only scoring, but he's leading the conference in assists, doing a great job of taking care of the basketball. So guys fit into the system, they know their roles, and one of the many things that makes Wisconsin successful, in my opinion, is that guys know what their roles are, and they don't try to play outside those.
And they do it so well. The Spartans now 0-1, and they'll take on Penn State Wednesday. Our first game today, the Nittany Lions took a shot at going to 2-0, hosting Ohio State. And Velimir Radinovic leads the conference 67%. He had 16 points, but turnovers. J.J. Sullinger turns it over.
You know, Ohio State treating it like one of those chocolate fruitcakes you don't want for Christmas. Conversely, for Penn State, their backcourt, fantastic. Marlon Smith, career high, and his running mate, Ben Luber, did a fantastic job on the defensive end as well as executing the Penn State offense. A lot of emotion and passion at Bryce Jordan today.
The Buckeyes only 47 points. Marlon Smith, the freshman, 23. Yagla, 12. And Aaron Jennings also with 12. Iowa tried to make it 2 in a row coming out of the gates. But check this out. Mohammed Hashad in among the trees, hits and one. Northwestern's up 12.
And the backcourt of Northwestern had to perform, and perform they did today. You talked about Hashad. Here T.J. Parker gets in the lane for the nice lead. Sean Sonderleiter tries to answer for Iowa, going inside, something they did not do as effectively as you'd like to see them do all year. And then Vedran Vukuzic, 2 of his 22 as Northwestern gets a big win on the road.
4 in double figures for the Cats. They shoot 52% on the road. Iowa 49 at home, but Iowa loses, and Northwestern 77-68. They're now 1-1. In the Big East, Pittsburgh went down to Miami, obviously liked the warmer weather, so they stuck around longer than anticipated. They go into overtime with the Hurricanes. We'll have the highlights coming up.
I have to go back to my convention. Yeah, I know, but I have a convention.
Un auto allá.
Bueno.
Come on.
I have to go to my convention. I know. I wish I could stay. We got married. I have to go. I love you. I'll call you. But you know, one more thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you smell so good.
Explain the bottle again. Well, I fill it with authentic Guinness draft. Brilliant! Then we walk outside. Yes. Bring it to a party. Yes. And then we drink it. Drink beer as a party? Brilliant! What else you working on? Remember how I used to open the bottle? Yes. Well, I've devised a gadget that does it for you. Brilliant! Brilliant!
Guinness draft straight from the bottle. Enjoy it everywhere.
Brilliant!
Back in 1927, we pumped our first gallon of Phillips 66, and word got around we made pretty good gasoline. Our idea was treat customers like neighbors, because they are, and make sure that Phillips 66 gasoline is always good enough to keep their cars coming back week after week. It was a good idea 75 years ago, and you know what? It still is. Year after year, mile after mile, and for all the miles to come, Phillips 66.
The Cooper Xeon 2XS Ultra High Performance Tire. Made to perform on the skid pad, the slalom, the track, and in the real world. Cooper tires don't give up a thing.
Boilermakers need a victory after opening with a loss in Iowa. Well, they have the lead by 2, but there's still 20 minutes to go. Let's go down to Miami now. Pittsburgh 15-0. Great game. Pitt down 2. 3.9 left. Carl Krauser drives the length of the court. Hit. Tied at 64. We're going overtime.
Oh, it's not over yet, though. Miami comes right back. Big-time 3 right here. Launches it. Guillermo Vilas, and it's good.
Second overtime tied at 77. Pitt goes inside.
And they go inside, something that we want to see here today. Chris Taft gets it on a great feed from Chevy Troutman.
An amazing game. Pittsburgh pulls it out 84-80. Now, 11 of the 15 teams they had played scored under 60. The Canes get 80, but Pittsburgh gets the W, 84-80 in overtime. 5 in double figures. Krauser had 19. D. Brown is the preseason player of the year in the Big Ten Conference, and right now they're home in Assembly Hall. He's got to step it up in the second half for the Fighting Illini.
Love, 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 love.
Pity
love,
the
love,
human male.
Sex, 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 sex.
Love.
Sex.
Love, love, love. Love, 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 love.
Sex.
But every once in a magical while,
Rolling Rock.
Love one.
there's something they can both understand. And the chain of life marches gloriously on.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
When do we begin shaping the minds that will lead America into the future? When do we lay the groundwork that will allow our businesses to thrive? When do we start preparing our nation for the next revolution in technology? At Purdue, the answer is now.
Coming up on the King of Queens, Doug's checking out the family jewels.
Wow.
I know. I'm really sporting quite the gem, huh?
This thing makes your breasts look huge.
Carrie's ring brings them big bucks.
Why? You kids got a drug habit? You got the monkey on your back?
But the cool new TV and hot tub they bought comes with a curse.
You can't tell, but I'm sweating like a pig right now.
In hot water on the King of Queens.
Tonight at 6 on WCIU.
After losing 30 pounds with Jenny Craig, I tell people it's not some diet you go on or off.
It's a great new way of life. Jenny Craig teaches you how to put your body and mind to work for you.
So when it all came together, you lost the weight. 80 pounds for you, right?
Right.
And you've kept it off for
8.5 years.
8.5 years. Billy Joe did it. I did it. Now it's your turn to call Jenny Craig.
Lose all the weight you want in 2004 for just $49, plus the cost of food. Jenny Craig, it works.
1-800-JENNY-20.
Chief Illini doing his thing at halftime in Assembly Hall, 22-20, Purdue. Now this word from one of the fine Big Ten institutions.
This is a wonderful time to be at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign because everybody is pitching in together to really make progress in key intellectual areas that have great societal impact.
Traditionally, academic pursuits are done individually, so we have a faculty member that goes after a problem based on their experience within their discipline. And what we're doing with the cross-campus initiatives is to take a group of smart people from different disciplines, put them together to attack a problem from their own perspectives, but as a group.
One of the fun aspects of this type of environment is that you know that you can go into almost any faculty's office and say, I have a crazy idea. Will you spend 10 minutes? And usually they actually listen, and some of the time they tell you have a crazy idea. Sometimes it actually results in a new collaboration. But the other side of that is that when the random person, student or faculty, comes into your door and says, I have a crazy idea, rather than kicking them out saying, I'm busy, you actually listen.
We're interested in creating learning and living communities on campus in which multiracial democracy is practiced. We want to question what that means as we bring together students from different backgrounds. We want to deal with the complexities and the challenges of figuring out what it takes to work, to live, and learn together.
Without doubt, the most stimulating project I've been associated with in my entire career.
The complexity of the issues that are really facing our society require leveraging intellectual discovery power. We can't just be in our own little silos. We really have to talk together to address what are the critical issues.
The discoveries that happen, the interactions really are unique, and the University of Illinois is really leading the way in universities and really trying to encourage this.
Cross-campus initiatives.
Another example of the Illinois brand of excellence.
David Teague, the 6'5" sophomore, has 7 of the 22. Boilermakers, 20 minutes away. They lead it by 2.
Stand a chance for the best parts, people and price. We're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on. Get up! Come on! Get up! Get up! Come on! Get up! Get up!
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produced higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.
What happens when a neuroscientist and a kinesiologist share ideas? At Illinois, they discovered that exercise reduces brain tissue loss in the elderly. What about engineering and industrial design students? At Illinois, they create a better baby bottle that reduces tooth decay. And experts in physiology, engineering, and speech and hearing? At Illinois, they design hearing aids that filter background noise.
Hey, Pat, nice to see you.
Interdisciplinary research. It's the Illinois brand of excellence.
Boilermakers by 2, 22-20. You're heading back to Champaign, Illinois for the second half right after this.
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
To make it more convenient for people to enjoy the refreshing taste of 7-Up, I made vending machines that find you. I also fixed it so the product gets to the consumer faster.
Hey, cool.
Ah! Ah! They're like bloodhounds. This is going great. 96, that's pretty fast.
Big Ten fans embody the spirit of college basketball.
They support their favorite teams and conference with passion and loyalty.
Their knowledge in class helps set the Big Ten apart from the rest.
So do your part the next time you cheer from the stands. Show good sportsmanship and respect the fans, the officials,
and the great tradition that is Big Ten basketball.
Big Ten basketball. Good sports make great fans.
Are bill collectors calling? Vehicle payments too high? Behind in your house? Want to solve your problems today and have one lower payment for all debt with little or no interest? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. We can file your Chapter 13 right away, no money down. Protect your house, your vehicles, and your paycheck. With 30 years experience, we're the law firm you trust to get you out of debt.
1-800-401-4010.
Unleash your potential at Moraine Valley Community College.
Moraine Valley Community College has opened doors for me that I never knew were there.
And they have so many programs. Oh my goodness, it's endless.
I never felt like a number. I always felt like a student with a name.
Suddenly, people that wouldn't even interview me before are calling me for interviews.
You're going to get what you're looking for here at Moraine Valley.
For more information, call 877-YES-MVCC or visit us online at morainevalley.edu. Expect success at Moraine Valley Community College.
With Mike Kelly, Jim Barber, the old-fashioned Big Ten war continues as we start the second half with Purdue on offense and leading just 22-20.
22-20, you might think they've got peach baskets back up there, but obviously this is the game Purdue wanted. They've got the lead, and it's a low-scoring game, able to get what they want in the first half and trying to do more of the same in the second half.
This is how the Boilermakers started a game, and a quick foul on Brian Randall. All right, Mike, let's take a look at the General Motors first half highlights.
Yeah, the highlights that there were for Illinois were Augustine right there. You see him. He was the energy. And then Teague, leading scorer for Purdue, 7 points. Hits the three, hits the inside shot right there, a little mid-range jumper. Purdue did everything they wanted to do except open up a bigger lead than 2 points in that first half.
Brian Randall having to leave the game for Illinois with 3 personal fouls.
And that was just a silly foul right there, unnecessary early in the second half. You know you got 2. He just extended himself. Really no reason to get that foul.
To Illinois' credit, Illini did not get frustrated with this slower tempo and a 9-point deficit in the first half.
Yeah, they stayed with it. And you do have to credit Illinois for that. I know they're going to want to push the pace a little bit, pick up the tempo in the second half, but they fought their way back and made it a 2-point game, and now they're going to try to do what they do best and get up and down the court in the second half.
And there are 7 seconds left on this possession as the big guys were trying to team up for an easy basket. James Augustine had that great first half, 10 and 7 points and rebounds.
More of the same for Purdue, working the shot clock.
Teague gets loose, off-balance shot, missed it. Picked up by Lowe, and Purdue can reset the offense, and that's exactly what it'll do.
And that's all Cartello. You see Cartello inside, getting the tip. He couldn't get the rebound, but he gets his hands on it, knocks it around. Kenneth Lowe picks it up, and they're going to reset it just like you said. Work the clock a little bit.
Cartello got upset with something in practice last night, and Katie said, just be quiet and play. We need more out of you than you're giving us, and they've gotten it today.
Yeah, exactly. Cartello stepping up, Katie lighting the fire underneath him, getting him to play well today.
This is for the lead. Augustine might have gotten away with a push-off. Instead, he's going to the free throw line.
Well, Augustine just does so much for Illinois. You know, he gets on the glass, really just the intangible player.
First half numbers reflect the type of game that we expected. Low scoring, defensive minded, every possession important. Rebounding a slight edge to Illinois, and no one is hit from the outside except for Purdue.
Yeah, Teague with the only 3-pointer of the game. Illinois trying to do what they can, get up and down, but did not hit from the outside, did not get any transition buckets, and that's why they only scored 20 points in that first half. But this man right here, James Augustine, really had a great first half. He did the hustle things, he made the shots, played defense, got on the glass. Real nice first half from James Augustine, and now his teammates have to pick it up around him.
And I think this crowd, Michael, is going to help him. Without the students, not nearly as crazy as it can be with the Orange Crush, but
got to make a shot.
Yeah, that would help. Back door. Cartello lays it in, and Ivan Cartello has got 7 tonight.
Oh, you got to like seeing a big man use his body inside. He's not the best offensive player, but he uses his frame and his body to edge out a little bit of position, and he only needs a half a second to get that shot up. Nice job by Cartello down low.
Cartello about 25 pounds slimmer than he was last year. Augustine tipped it out, but it's to McKnight, and here comes Purdue. And Kiefer inside, good fake by Matt Kiefer, and he's going to the free throw line. Ivan Cartello, you know, we've talked so much about McKnight and Teague shooting, but Cartello might be the difference for Purdue today.
You know who was great at working inside like this was Evan Eschmeyer. You know, that was an Evan Eschmeyer type of play. He played for Northwestern, and Cartello just gets down there. He gets position, makes it an easy entry pass for his teammate on the outside, and once he gets the ball, that's just an easy turnaround shot for Cartello. You don't have to be a great offensive player to use your body like that, get position inside, go right up with it. Nice job, Cartello.
And that's what Matt Kiefer is looking at as he shoots. No problem.
Well, that orange stuff make you queasy if you're not used to it. The Orange Crush, certainly a great student section.
Champaign, Illinois, Jim Barber, Mike Kelly, Purdue and Illinois, second game of the conference season for both teams. And that is the first 3 of the game for Illinois. It took more than 23 minutes.
Yeah, that's Rich McBride, the freshman. He got a chance to step up when Darren Williams went out and did a great job, and he's trying to carry that over with Williams back in the lineup.
How about the answer by Teague, and he pointed to the bench when he knocked it down.
Yeah, exactly. Teague's got the confidence. He wants to be out there shooting the ball. Purdue's going to need that from him. Hit the outside shot, make it easy, make it hard for Illinois to come back.
Williams had a smell of the basket, gave it to Smith, got it back, and spins to the hoop. Look at Nick Smith hustling for the rebound. And Nick Smith at 7'2" would not be denied.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to make a move there, and then he realized, hey, I'm 7'2", I can just shoot it.
Yeah, nobody's going to stop me here.
Yeah, I'm close enough. Just put the ball up, big fella.
He was recruited by Lon Kruger. That seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Lon Kruger, great coach, did great things, but had to go to the NBA. Made way for other coaches in here. Bill Self, and now Bruce Weber.
McKnight tries a 3. The Purdue bench doesn't like it. Illinois running for one of the few times today. And that's the lead for Illinois that the Illini have not had all day.
Yeah, look out. It's timeout time. Take a TO, baby, as Dick Vitale would say, because D. Brown is deadly in transition, and if he can pull up and hit the 3, Purdue is in trouble.
Finally, the Illini on the break, and it pays off.
Ask me no question, I'll tell you no lie. Ask me no question, I'll be yours.
What are you holding now? A six-pack. A six-pack? Brilliant! What'd you do?
Well, I figured out how to carry 6 beers at the same time.
Carry 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant! Let's drink them.
You know, I've been thinking, it might not be the smartest idea to drink 6 beers at the same time.
Don't drink 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Drink Guinness draft straight from the bottle, and always enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Advance Auto Parts, no matter when or where.
There's nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
1,000 cars and trucks, 1,000 winners nationwide, one hot button. It's the widest selection of cars and trucks on the planet. For a chance to win, go to a participating GM dealer, push the OnStar button, and play the game. Have you pushed the GM hot button yet?
It took Illinois 20 minutes to get 20 points. The Illini have got 10 here in the second half, Mike.
Yeah, and it's been Nick Smith. He was the effort. He was the extra effort against Ohio State, 22 points. And you see the basket there, then the rebound, and he wanted to push it. He sees D. Brown ahead. His preseason Big Ten Player of the Year candidate and teammate, he gets him the ball, and D. Brown, if he can start hitting that three-point shot, he'll be deadly. But Nick Smith, couple points lately, gets the outlet pass. Illinois needs a couple of these other players other than Williams and Brown. They need some other guys to step up, and Nick Smith is doing that right now for Illinois.
Nick had a Big Ten Player of the Week performance the other night against Ohio State, not missing anything in his 22-point effort. A little bit of a trap activity. Illinois trying to shake up Purdue's offense and make them go a little quicker than they have been.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, too. Illinois changing up their defense. We still have yet to see the zone. That's something we thought we would see, trying to make Purdue hit from the outside. But right now, they're just manning up, player for player, trying to play good defense and stop Purdue.
Illinois assistant Jay Price, top assistant under Bruce Weber, who was at Purdue 10 years, called Conzo Martin, one of Purdue's assistants, and said, don't worry about anything. We're going to open up in a 2-3 zone tomorrow. You can just count on that.
Oh, it's a chess game.
Hard for two guys who love man-to-man to do any type of zone, I would think.
Yeah, exactly. They won't even go zone out of a timeout situation. They don't even want to do it once. Just pick up man. D up.
Nobody could D up McKnight as he rolls in his third field goal of the game, and Purdue back up by 1. Purdue, it's patent man-to-man defense, so strong. One of the best defensive averages, not only in the conference, but in the country so far. Brown attacking and scoring. And how about an active D. Brown here in the second half?
Oh, yeah, D. Brown has really come to life. That first half, we talked about it. He was really invisible. Purdue doing such a good job of shutting him down. And right there, I tell you, the nice thing about this is he stops before he gets to the basket. He doesn't let the Purdue big man get over there and block his shot. He's going to pull up a little one-handed shot, gets it up, gets it down in the basket. Now he goes to the line. Nice job by D. Brown, recognizing the defensive help and getting the ball off.
Mike, when we come back, we're going to take a trip down memory lane and show you the two coaches 20 years ago. The look is a little bit different, but still that intensity is there. Stay with us.
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produce higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
Cars and trucks, 1,000 winners nationwide, one hot button. It's the widest selection of cars and trucks on the planet. For a chance to win, go to a participating GM dealer, push the OnStar button, and play the game. Have you pushed the GM hot button yet?
Almost 25 years ago, Gene Cady took a chance and hired a very young Bruce Weber in his early 20s. First at Western Kentucky, then at Purdue. Long-time association, a very successful one. Coaches have aged just a bit. That's Jay Price on the left-hand side. Again, he spent 10 years at Purdue. And no one thought Cady and Weber would ever break up, but they needed to because Bruce had opportunities. He went on to Southern Illinois, very successful there, and now here at the University of Illinois.
Yeah, and you can count on the fact that Gene Cady is a big Bruce Weber supporter. He couldn't be happy to see Bruce Weber succeed, and you work with someone for that long. You hate to see him leave, but that's part of the coaching game. You work with them underneath you, and then you have to set them free and let them do their thing, and Bruce Weber's taking advantage of his opportunity.
And Purdue has played pretty well in Champaign, had a 6-game win streak back under Cady and Weber together, and they're trying to put something together here as Kiefer ties his score at 33.
One of the amazing stats for Purdue is they have a winning record against every other team in the Big Ten. That is just amazing. Says something about Gene Cady and all the coaches before him, just the style of basketball, the winning basketball that they play.
Well, we mentioned Jay Price earlier. He is the top assistant now for Bruce Weber, leaving the Purdue program. Bryce, though, has got a whole lot of Purdue fans in his family. As you might expect, it's hard to switch loyalties. And he was telling us yesterday, after the shoot-around, he wasn't going home because he didn't want to dissect the game, what was lying ahead. He didn't want to get upset. He was just going to hold himself up here at Assembly Hall, play the game, coach the game, and then get back to family business. But it's particularly tough when you're entertaining people, and they've got some pretty strong loyalties.
Yeah, exactly. It is tough, and that's fun, though. When your family gets involved in your job like that, you get a sports background, and your family's into it. It's always fun around the holidays. I'm sure they have some good conversations.
Weber and Katie will face each other at least twice this year as Cartello knocks down yet another field goal. Ivan Cartello talking to Nick Smith as he headed down there.
He looked over and said, "I'm on fire," I think he told him. Cartello doing a good job stepping up on offense. They need something out of him and Kiefer inside to keep Illinois at bay down in the post.
D just a little short, so it's out to McBride, who is off the mark. And Illinois still able to get it back for a third try.
Well, the offensive rebound will just kill you. Purdue has got to get on the glass. They cannot give Illinois second chances because they'll take advantage.
Here's Darren Williams, quiet here in the second half, looking inside, nice pass. And it goes to the big fellow, Augustine. It's sophomore to sophomore again.
Yeah, good look by Darren Williams there. Seeing Augustine down low, and he doesn't just pass it to him. He gives it up high so the big fellow can just grab it, keep it above his head, and go in and get the easy 2 points.
6.5 minutes into the second half.
See Purdue, how they go inside and outside. They get it in the post and they back out a little bit. Illinois is chasing on defense, and that's because Purdue is able to go inside and outside.
How about this for three? That's Kiefer with a long-range jumper. You almost could see Bruce Weber saying to Jay Price, "Hey, that's not supposed to happen."
You didn't tell me about that. We didn't scout that.
Where was that in the report?
Well, Purdue doing a good job on offense, just working the ball around. You know, they don't want Kiefer to take a shot every time, but he was wide open after late in the shot clock. He puts it up. Nice shot by Kiefer.
That Purdue front line, Kiefer and Cartello have 9 points apiece. What a difference 72 hours make from the game in Iowa City.
Oh, boy, it's night and day for these two fellas, playing well inside, making life easy for the Purdue offense.
And remember, Purdue does not have Chris Booker because of academic issues. It's very possible they will not have him the rest of the year, so life has to go on without him.
Yeah, really a tough story about responsibility. You're a student athlete, and student comes first for a reason. You can't get on the court unless you hit the books. And Purdue will miss Booker if he's not available the rest of the season.
Have missed him so far in this stretch. Illinois has just got a few seconds to do something. Williams has got to force one. But the offensive rebounds are starting to flow Illinois' way.
Yeah, long shot, long rebound, and that's what's happening right here.
That's a three to make one, and they still can't do it. And Illinois going back to settling on those three-point shots, Mike.
Yeah, you got plenty of opportunities. You get a second chance on offense. I think Bruce Weber would like to see his team take control of the ball, set up a play, but instead they put the ball up quick. 3 chances, and they don't make one of them.
Big man trying to handle the ball out front. Now in the hands of the guards where it belongs. You've got 2 point guards out there in essence. McKnight and Parkinson.
Yeah, Parkinson really an assist man out there. He's looking for everybody else, trying to set somebody up.
And McKnight's become more of a shooter because of Parkinson's play. Cartello, he's been hot. Not this time. And with that, 35-second violation and a timeout. Purdue 38, Illinois 35. Can Purdue stop the hot Illini?
This is a crucial moment for the Mayo. Cohabitation. It is a show of commitment. It is an indication of responsibility.
Hey.
It is love.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
The Cooper Xeon 2XS Ultra High Performance Tire. Made to perform on the skid pad, the slalom, the track, and in the real world. Cooper tires don't give up a thing.
In 1977, an idea was planted. One day, it would lead to high-speed internet access, streaming video and sharing digital photographs. It's been 25 years now. Today, SBC companies supply more people with high-speed DSL than anyone else in America. Obviously, the idea grew. SBC, going beyond the call.
WCIU's got your Big Ten college basketball action. It's a battle for bragging rights in the land of Lincoln as the Fighting Illini take on the Northwestern Wildcats. Wednesday night at 7 on WCIU, Channel 26, The U. Want to hear a secret?
This is me leaning forward with interest.
There's enough King of Queens to go around.
All right, well, lean back with interest or have a mint.
Weeknights at 9 and 10, and a full hour today at 6. Yes! Right here on WCIU, Channel 26, The U.
It's time now for We Know You, brought to you by Citgo, proud to support today's athletes. Kendall Gill was part of the Flying Illini of the late 80s, leading Illinois to the #1 seed, eventually the Final Four of 1989. He captained the 90 team with Stephen Bardo, went to Charlotte 1990. Let's go back to Champaign with Jim and Mike. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Mike and Sean, that's a great memory. Kendall, a great player here, still very much remembered and honored, and he should be. He was part of that Illinois offense under the Lou Henson. That was pretty special.
Yeah, it was special. I remember that growing up. Those teams of Lou Henson, they're able to really get up and down the court. Just special teams, able to win a lot of championships, go to the Final Four. And Stephen Bardo running basketball camps in Chicago area. After I got done playing in Wisconsin, did a couple Stephen Bardo camps, trying to get kids some looks by NBA scouts and such. Stephen Bardo, very nice guy. Good to be around.
I was talking to you earlier today. It seems like you grew up watching everybody. Are you really that young? Did you grow up watching Sean Morris, too?
Well, Sean, you know, I remember when Sean Morris ended his career, I was crying, but that's because I was 2.
Man, that's a long time ago. 1-point game. Boilermakers 38, Illinois 37. And the foul inside on Roger Powell, who already has been in enough foul difficulty today. And he'll have to leave, replaced by James Augustine.
Roger Powell cannot afford to keep getting in foul trouble. They need him on the court against Purdue here with the big men stepping up. They need Roger Powell in the game.
Haven't had any scoring from him today, too. He averages 13. Brett Busher, a good feel with a basket. We've got a good one here at Champaign. It's been mostly defense between Purdue and Illinois. Jim Barber, Mike Kelly. 1 possession as we stand. Illinois comes in shooting at 47%, but has been limited to just 36.
Well, and at home, they're used to this surrounding, so you've got to give all the credit to Purdue and that defense. Purdue has come out. They've just been in their face. They've been after loose balls. They've been on the glass. Only recently has Illinois gotten some second-chance looks with offensive rebounds, but Purdue doing a great job of fighting Bruce Weber and his Illini right now because they cannot get any good looks.
And keep in mind, Illinois has a 23-game home winning streak and 45 wins over the last 46 games here at the Hall.
And Northwestern beating Iowa was the first road victory for any Big Ten team, and we might be on the cusp of the second one. It'd be a surprise as Illinois is so good at home.
Good penetration there by Rich McBride. That cuts the lead back to 1. And when Illinois is able to get inside, it's not very often, they've been pretty successful.
Yeah, they need to go back to it. Right now, you've got 10.5 left in this game. If you're Illinois, you need to get your crowd back into the game somehow. Get a couple fast breaks, put the ball in D. Brown's hand, make some exciting plays, try to open up a little bit of a lead on Purdue here at home.
Offensive foul on a guy who's been having a pretty good day so far, Von Cartello. Gene Katie with disagreement with Ted Hillary, saying no foul. She's been playing on.
He said your ankle's still hurting you.
Yeah.
You missed one there. Your back, your ankle, whatever it is. Just went to your head.
Wide-eyed chance to go back ahead.
Illinois is going to work the clock a little bit here. Let's see if they can get a good shot. They really have not gotten anything great in the half-court set.
Is that a good shot?
Well, went in. You got to love it if it goes in. D. Brown, I'm telling you, that is is his ticket to the NBA. If he can start hitting the outside shot, especially the three, he is NBA all the way. He's going to be the next TJ Ford because he's so quick. He can do it in transition. He's got to prove he can make that outside shot. And if he can, look out NBA.
Pretty strong comments.
Well, I'll back it up. If he can hit the three, he will be playing for money in the NBA.
McKnight is in trouble. He gets some help, and now Purdue's got big people inside. And Busher, good recognition, strong, handing it off for the layup.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about in the beginning, is this Purdue team will not get frustrated by defensive pressure. They take care of the ball, they pass it around, and right there, they just make a couple of easy passes and end up with the layup.
The other night, Purdue frustrated by Iowa, picked up 29 personal fouls in the game, took way too many threes, got caught on the fast break on a number of occasions, and lost. Tonight, they have improved in all areas.
Yeah, this is the standard Purdue team that everybody's used to seeing. This is the team that'll be there the rest of the year. This is the team that beat Duke earlier in the year.
Absolutely. Timeout called by Illinois. Well, the big fellows have been much more active this afternoon. It has made a big difference. We start with Brett Busher.
Yeah, Busher right here. As he goes inside, he sees the help defense comes over, and you got to have secondary rotation. It didn't happen. Coach Katie says that's the way to be. That's still no smile, though. Still no smile. Smile counts 0, but he's pumped up.
You know what he says when something goes wrong here to his guys? We don't teach that here. Today's game is brought to you by Gatorade, thirst quencher Gatorade. It's in college basketball. Is it in you? Under 9 minutes for the game. We are even at 42. And again, they'll meet next to the last game of the season at Mackey Arena in West Lafayette.
I bet on more of the same in that meeting. Right now, you see two good teams going toe-to-toe.
Brown got loose, but missed the three. Smith and Busher battle, and Purdue gets the rebound. Brown had a pretty good look.
Yeah, he did have a good look, but he just doesn't get his feet underneath him. I think that's the big thing with D. Brown. When he's hitting his threes, he's fighting for his feet. He gets them underneath him, and right there, he doesn't get totally rotated, and it just leads to a little bit of an off-balance shot, and he's off-key.
That cut by Teague has been very worthwhile for him. Gets in the lane, gets that short jumper, and he's pretty automatic.
You said it. It's the lost art of the mid-range jump shot. Teague still got it.
Good defensive play by Busher, running the full court and laying in.
Well, who says Purdue isn't an up-and-down team? And the last guy you'd expect to lead the break is Brett Busher, but he takes it all the way. Nice job by the big fella.
And Illinois is going to use another timeout.
Well, you got to do something. 8 minutes left. You're down 4 points, and really Purdue has been in charge of this game. Illinois should be happy they're only down 4 because this Purdue team has really exerted everything they've wanted to do. Let's watch what happens here. Just a loose ball. Busher gets his hands on it. Nick Smith shouldn't be handling the ball that far out on the perimeter to begin with. And Busher says, I'll take it all the way in. Why not? Stealing a basket for Busher.
Illinois averages 80 points a game right now, just about at the halfway point of that. Let's take a look at our assist leaders, brought to you by Cargill. Collaborate, create, and succeed. We see a couple of familiar faces in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Darren Williams, D. Brown. You get guys that can dish the ball off like that, your team is going to be successful. Guys that can set up other players, and that's what Illinois has, but they've got 2 of them, and that's why they're successful. These guys are able to make plays, get in the lane, dish the ball off, and they make everybody around them better when they get those assists.
Smith Riley in the top 5 of Penn State. Break up the Nittany Lions. They're becoming a basketball school.
How about that? Joe Pahu.
2-0 start. Wins over Minnesota, and today on ESPN Plus, Ohio State.
Cartello saw Busher get away with it, trying to get the steal there, and Cartello says, we tried. He gets called for the foul.
And now we have the under 8-minute timeout, but Ivan Cartello has been huge for Purdue so far.
Explain the bottle again.
Well, I fill it with authentic Guinness draft.
Brilliant!
Then we walk outside.
Yes.
Bring it to a party.
Yes.
And then we drink it.
Drink beer at a party? Brilliant! What else you working on?
Remember how I used to open the bottle?
Yes.
Well, I've devised a gadget that does it for you.
Brilliant!
Brilliant! Guinness Draft, straight from the bottle. Enjoy it everywhere.
Brilliant!
Advance Auto Parts. No matter when or where.
There's nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price. We're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
Every day you're faced with choices. Some affect your livelihood, like which grass herbicide to use. You want one that works hard in the spring, but leaves you with lots of choices later on. That's why you want Option Corn Herbicide. It controls all your major grasses and key broadleaves. And Option gives you choices, like using MSO, the high-performance adjuvant that makes all your post-herbicides perform better. That kind of freedom can really pay off down the road. Option, grass control that puts you in control.
Cars and trucks, 1,000 winners nationwide, one hot button. It's the widest selection of cars and trucks on the planet. For a chance to win, go to a participating GM dealer, push the OnStar button, and play the game. Have you pushed the GM hot button yet?
Purdue 46, Illinois 42. Time now for a word from Professor Mike Kelly.
Well, watch this. This is fighting for your feet, and D. Brown does not get it done. He's in a fight with his feet, and his feet are winning as they do not get all the way around to square up. And because of that, he doesn't get the right trajectory. It's a little bit long, and watch his body keep rotating. Watch it. Keeps rotating, rotating. He never gets completely squared up. We always call that fighting for your feet because it's a battle. It's not easy when you come off the screen to fight for your feet, get them all the way around so you can go straight up and down. D. Brown did not do that right there and led for a deep shot. He misses it, and when he's off, it's because he doesn't fight for his feet. He doesn't get them underneath them, and as a result, he misses the shot.
All right, good job, Professor, at educating us. Brown is just a 36% shooter for the year, and that's probably one of the reasons that he has struggled. Wake Forest struggled with Clemson for a while today. No problem for Florida. Florida's blowout of Tennessee started in the opening minutes. And at one point in the Louisville game, it was 60-16. Oh, boy, wow.
Well, you don't want to be in the Gene Katie practice after a loss, but I don't think you want to be on South Florida's team at all. Get out of the state if you can. Just get out of there
for a while. The Cuse, after an opening season loss, are having a wonderful year under Jim Boeheim. They thought they might struggle, but even without Carmelo Anthony, they're playing well.
Well, like any good program who's had a coach that's been around for a while, you've got a system. You just plug in the players, you reload, and you just get things going. And I think that's why Syracuse was having their success this year.
Big-time basket by David Teague. That's his third made three. Last night at the practice, Katie hollered at one point, get David some shots.
Yeah,
they're doing that today.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they need to hit some shots. They've been struggling from the outside. Kenneth Lowe, David Teague, not hitting a lot of outside shots even today, but Teague is the spark right now. He's got the hot hand. Purdue's got to get him the ball.
And with less than 7 minutes to go, Illinois has got to make up a 7-point deficit. And they've not been able to do it from the outside, so they'll try it inside. And just as that starts to happen, Aaron Spears is called for an offensive foul.
Yeah, and you wonder, I mean, this Illinois team just looks lethargic right now. People worried about Purdue because they have been doing two-a-days, and Katie's been so hard on them when leading up to this game. But right now, Purdue's playing with all the energy, and Illinois just seems to be struggling to find their rhythm.
And without Luther Head, who has had numerous off-court problems, Bruce Weber has said, I'm still interested in giving him another chance and keeping around this program.
Yeah, you know, you lose a player like Luther Head, a constant contributor. It always throws off the rhythm. Not easy to adjust, and they could use him on the court right now, especially for the fresh legs portion of it.
Williams with a strip against Teague, spinning to the basket and laying it in. What a great defensive play by Darren Williams.
Oh, Darren Williams decides he's going to do it all his own. Get the steal, pick it up, go in for the reverse layup. He's such a nice player, a heady player. He knows the game better than anybody else on the court, and that's why he's successful. He's only a sophomore. This kid's got a bright future.
We'll see how big that play turns out to be as Cartello backs in. And J.D. Collins says, you walk with the ball out of bounds, Illinois. Another look at Darren Williams with the swipe.
Well, it's almost like he knew Teague was going to go to the crossover. He was studying him for a couple dribbles, so he pokes it away and takes it all himself in transition. Darren Williams, the consummate guard, able to get the steal on defense and contribute on offense as well.
Yesterday, Darren able to do a little bit more eating off that broken jaw. Got to enjoy some pancakes and some scrambled eggs for a change.
Didn't have to go through a blender.
No. Augustine had the ball, but lost it out of bounds with 5:19 to go.
And D. Brown just continues his struggles outside, and I'm telling you, if he can hit that outside shot, he might be the best point guard in the nation, but when he's missing it, it just takes so much away because you don't have to defend him out there. You lose a possession for Illinois, and it's just two different players. If he's hitting the outside shot, he's unbelievable, but when he's missing, he just becomes an average guard.
Coaches will tell you just because you have a good open look doesn't mean you have to take it.
Well, I knew that. Guys gave me plenty open looks.
You were pretty good on the other end from what I remember in Wisconsin. Another swipe by Williams and a foul by Lowe, and Darren Williams is doing it with his defense. Shooting the Rock is brought to you by Rolling Rock Beer. Grab a rock. The field goal shooting for Purdue. Much better than Illinois, making sure of almost every opportunity it has had.
Yeah, the amazing thing about that, 14 more opportunities for Illinois, but unable to convert and make any more shots than Purdue has. You've got to do that if you want to hold your home court.
23-game win streak is at stake for Illinois.
Well, let's see what Illinois does. Somehow they've got to get the crowd into it. They've had a couple spurts, but every time Purdue's been able to take advantage and stop that with a good shot of their own by taking the air out of the ball essentially on offense and using up a lot of the shot clock.
And right now, Lowe D'ing up on Williams, trying to make sure he doesn't get close to the basket. Goes baseline and shoots and misses. And another block out for Purdue. Let's see if they use some clock here.
Well, you can bet they will. Darren Williams kind of gets in limbo there. He wasn't sure what to do and ends up forcing a shot after the nice play. That was just a poor possession for Illinois on offense.
Katie looked to Collins for a foul. Instead, we play on. Again, the clock winding down right to Purdue's plan. And Kiefer spins, and he's got free throws.
And that's a good call. That's a good call right there. As Kiefer goes in, he gets bumped on the arm. And we're seeing what happens when you go inside. I mean, it's so simple, but players sometimes get out there, you get caught up in your emotions. D. Brown's trying to hit the three, Darren Williams trying to do things, and Illinois not getting the inside shots, and Purdue getting the inside shots as they go in the lane. They get fouls, and now Roger Powell is going to be out of the game and not really a factor tonight.
Powell averaged 13 a game, held scoreless. Credit to Purdue's defense, which has been solid from the beginning of this game that started roughly at 3:34 Central Time.
Yeah, you take a guy like Powell out of the game and you take the crowd out of it and you do what you want on offense, do what you want to do on defense. A complete game for Purdue.
Illinois virtually unbeatable in the hall. The only loss to a very good Michigan State team that came back a little less than a year ago. But right now, the Orange Crush is concerned and should be.
Yeah,
students aren't here. Might have made a difference. Haven't been a problem in terms of seats because we are sold out. Not nearly as loud, and I think you made the point earlier. Illinois has had to make some things happen to make it loud.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. I mean, they're ready to cheer, but Illinois has got to do something to get them off their feet and get them excited.
Purdue had only 10 free throw opportunities the other night, 9 tonight. And the Boilermakers have hit all 9, and Katie's team now has a 7-point lead once again.
We should mention this crowd a little bit nicer than the one at the United Center, cheering on the Bulls, or booing the Bulls, I should say.
A little rough lately, haven't they?
The talk of the town here.
McBride slashed it to the basket. It is loose, picked up by Teague. Purdue has 3 against 3. Lowe recognizes.
So smart.
Back it up.
Yeah, just so smart, this Purdue team. No numbers. Hold the ball up, get a good shot.
D. Brown gets the steal for Illinois. The 2 guards run it. Brown says that wasn't off my hands. So it will be Illinois basketball when we come back. But Purdue is in great shape. Can Illinois come back? Not much time remaining.
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produce higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.
They say soft drinks need to be prominently displayed. Oh, this is fine for other soft drinks. It's not prominent enough for refreshing 7-Up.
Now this should get some attention. Beautiful.
Don't be shy.
Wait till next week when they go on sale.
I'm bringing people in already.
Cars and trucks, 1,000 winners nationwide, one hot button. It's the widest selection of cars and trucks on the planet. For a chance to win, go to a participating GM dealer, push the OnStar button, and play the game. Have you pushed the GM hot button yet?
Coming up on the King of Queens, Doug's checking out the family jewels. Wow.
I know. I'm really sporting quite the gem, huh?
This thing makes your breasts look huge.
Carrie's ring brings them big bucks.
Why? You kids got a drug habit? You got the monkey on your back?
But the cool new TV and hot tub they bought comes with a curse.
You can't tell, but I'm sweating like a pig right now.
In hot water on the King of Queens.
Tonight at 6 on WCIU.
This ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Guinness Draft Stout, enjoyed responsibly the world over. Citgo. At Citgo, we enjoy basketball as much as you do. Citgo, we know you. And by General Motors.
Mike Kenneth Lowe has not made a field goal today, but I think his defense on Dee Brown, along with the help from Brandon McKnight, has been pretty critical.
Well, that's been the difference. Lowe unable to step up on offense by scoring points. He has been a factor, getting a couple of assists, but on defense, he has stepped up. They've stopped Dee Brown in most of this Illinois offense.
Kiefer smart enough not to make it an and one for Augustine as Big James able to get inside. He's got 16. Illinois back within 5.
Well, and you can bet both coaches went over their strategy for the last 4 minutes. What are we going to do to keep the lead if you're in Purdue's huddle? And what are we going to do to try to get the lead back and hold on for a win if you're in Bruce Weber's huddle?
We should see some pretty terrific defense down the stretch here. Purdue at 5. And now 4. Teague over Brown. Busher to save. Violation, Purdue.
Right.
At the beginning, we highlighted Kenneth Lowe and Dee Brown, and while the offense has not been there for Lowe, to back up your point, Lowe and others have forced Brown into 13 shots, just 11 points.
Yeah, you see he's struggled. He's got 11 points for only 13 from the field. Dee Brown not fighting for his feet, not getting the outside shot because he's frustrated by this Purdue defense.
Pretty significant possession here for Illinois. Williams trying to beat McKnight on a dribble. He did draw a personal foul, and Illinois is in the bonus, and Darren Williams is limping right now.
Oh, that's the hand check. That's what we're talking about when we say they're hand checking right here. Is Darren Williams tries to go baseline, and a Purdue defender just puts his hands on him, and that's enough to call the foul and send him to the line. He might have hurt his ankle, though. He's holding it.
Williams is a terrific free throw shooter at 93%, so Illinois got the right man at the line. See how strong he can go on that ankle.
Yeah, you wonder. You know, Darren Williams down the stretch, such a big player. And in tight games, you need your point guards to step up. And they've got him and Dee Brown. The advantage going to Illinois at the guard position, but not when it's an unhealthy Darren Williams.
Pretty huge miss there. The front end of a 1-and-1, and Purdue plays on a 5-point lead. 2:20 for the game. Busher. And tapped out to McBride. Williams is still in some pain, hobbling down the court.
Yeah, they're going to get him out. They've got to.
Augustine's been a big man on campus for Illinois, but not this time. Illinois had chances.
Yeah, they have, and they're starting to go inside right there. They just didn't get the shot that they needed to fall from Augustine. A good look, left-handed hook shot, but it didn't fall. And Purdue is going to take their time out right here, try to set things up. Every possession so important when you get down the stretch. You can't afford sloppy turnovers or missed shots in a close game like this.
Darren hobbling on that ankle in a critical time of the game with less than 2 minutes to go. Time now for the Advanced Auto Parts upcoming schedule. The schedule is promising for Illinois at the beginning, matching up against opponents that they would be favored against. But winning this one today, most difficult as they find themselves in a 5-point hole.
Yeah, if you're Illinois, you've got to protect your home court. They've been able to do it the past couple of years, 45-1 the last 2.5 seasons. And obviously, that's a reason they're successful. And to start off the Big Ten season here, they need to hold their home court against Purdue and get this win.
Penn State at the top with Wisconsin. The new man in town for the Lions has done a terrific job. They are 8-5 overall, while Purdue tries to hand Illinois a conference loss. And again, back up your point, winning on the road against a quality team. Last time Purdue has done that, top 25 team here in Champaign, January 2000 with Ryan Cardinal in that group.
That's right. That was pretty interesting when I saw that as well. You know, Gene Cady said, when you're going to win a Big Ten championship, what you need to do is win every game at home and then win half of your road games. And he's won Big Ten championships, so he should know. We should take advice from him. Illinois right now trying to defend their home court. Wisconsin goes 8-0 in the last 2 seasons. Each season they go 8-0 and they win the Big Ten title each time, so obviously there's something to it.
Now, Purdue can work this clock down to a little more than a minute, and Illinois wisely at this point committing a foul early, forcing Purdue into the one-hand bonus. Some of the teams the Boilermakers will see only once this year: Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Northwestern. But today, Penn State a winner, surprise. Northwestern a surprise winner at Iowa.
Yeah, you never know how it's going to shake up. I think to start the year, everybody expects these 4 teams to probably be towards the bottom, but we'll see what happens. You know, those teams don't have the banner players. They're certainly not front runners in this Big Ten race, but you never know what can happen. These teams can really step up. But that's what everybody looks at when you get the Big Ten season or you get the schedule comes out. You want to see, who do I play only once? You know, does it favor us or does it not? And that's the only thing you can really complain about, because you will only play 2 teams at home and there are 2 teams you only play on the road.
Not many free throw opportunities today for Purdue, Mike, but they have been flawless. 11 for 11. This is a very good free throw shooting team.
And this is a big opportunity for Illinois to get a shot here. They need to make a basket, get some points, and then get a stop.
McBride squared up, shot it strong. Rebound Parkinson. And right now Purdue with every advantage imaginable.
They're going to have to foul here. They're running out of time. They don't force a turnover. They're going to have to foul and put somebody at the line, but Lowe is not the man. Right here is the foul you need. Well, you had it for a second there with Kiefer.
And Purdue with 2 timeouts remaining will use one right here, and still 19 more seconds that Cady and the Boilermakers can spend on this possession. The winning streak of Illinois very much in jeopardy at this point. It is one of the best in the country, topped by only Pittsburgh at 35 in a row. Pitt won today on the road. Duke has 34 in a row. Nearly impossible to beat them there at Cameron Indoor. And how about Creighton, which plays tomorrow at home?
Yeah, Creighton, one of those teams, the dreaded mid-major term that Creighton gets dealt with. But Creighton, you know, you wonder why they get in the NCAA tournament. It's because they're able to defend their home court. And obviously the successful programs like Pitt and Duke and Illinois here, always able to take care of business at home. So important to do that. Illinois, with 1 minute and 1 second left, is going to have to foul. They're down 7. If Purdue is able to take the shot clock down without them fouling, and they will, the best that happens is that Purdue misses and you've only got 40 seconds to go. That's not a lot of time to score 7 points.
Purdue has been in charge the entire way. Gave up the lead only a couple times briefly in the second half, but control the tempo from the beginning. And Illinois has to defend here and does, but it's tipped back up and in, and that might do it by Brett Busher.
Yeah, the old nail in the coffin, I believe, for Illinois is they did not get the foul. They give up the easy shot.
D. Brown answers with A little less than 36 seconds to go. That knocks it down to 2 possessions at 55-49, but it is a desperate time for Illinois.
Yeah, maybe I spoke too soon, but I don't know. This Illinois team has not showed that they can hit the shot from the outside. Purdue has showed that they're perfect from the line. So when you foul and put them on the line, they're going to make the shot. 35 seconds, not a lot of time. But anything can happen. This Illinois team knows how to play up-tempo. They can force a turnover pretty easy. They're used to that. But Purdue, on the other side of that coin, takes care of the ball pretty well.
And Mike, the teacher, is 35 seconds away from beating a former student here. Weber's resume is quite impressive. He was big start at Western Kentucky for a year under Katie, and then he went along with Gene to West Lafayette, where they did a lot of things that were very special. And then it was time for Weber to leave the nest with Katie's full endorsement.
And he's done a great job. You have to commend Bruce Weber, building his career up, going through the ranks as an assistant for all those years, then going to Southern Illinois, the Salukis. Now he's got the job in the Big Ten and trying to make the most of it.
Well, Gene has said for a long time, I want my assistants to get great head coaching jobs, and this one has turned out to do quite well.
No smiles. No smiles, I'm telling you. I'm still looking for the smile.
Give yourself 35.7 seconds here. If the lead holds up, we'll see the man on the left with plenty of smiles. And yet it will still be difficult, I would think, to go to 10-second line and shake Bruce's hand if Purdue hangs on to win, because now he knows how bad it will be for Weber and his group.
Well, I like how they said it'll be so hard on the families. Oh, that's what they're most concerned about, right?
It's hard on the coaches this week.
Yeah, I think they're most concerned about themselves, but they know what to say. Oh, we're worried about our families. Yeah, that's right.
That too.
Yeah.
Well, Illinois should have no other choice but the foul here, and I don't know what's taking so long.
Well,
finally, a foul, but precious seconds off the clock. And that should not have happened. Either you get the steal off the throw-in, and if it doesn't happen, then you've got to hack somebody.
Yeah, you give up 11 seconds on the shot clock, or on the clock itself. And, well, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. You've got to get the quick foul, and it can be tough. You cannot trap in a situation like this, because when you trap, you just get yourself behind. And all of a sudden, everybody's got to rotate, and if the offense is one step ahead of you, you'll never be able to get a foul. So you have to just man up, stick with the person. When he gets the ball, just foul him right away.
If this lead holds for Purdue, the trip on Interstate 74, much more pleasant, I would think, than the one coming.
Yeah, definitely much more pleasant. That man right there will be able to sleep easy for once. This last road trip has not been easy for Gene Katie.
Parkinson hit 2 earlier, hits this one. Austin Parkinson, basketball royalty with his dad, Bruce, a star here at Purdue many years back. And Austin at 76%. If you have the ball in his hands or Kenneth Lowe at the end, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you want to know how to get some playing time late in the game. Make some free throws. Coach has got no choice but to put you on the court, take care of the ball, and make the free throws. Now they put Teague in for a little defense. But Parkinson making the most of his opportunity. That's why you're in there. That's why you practice all the free throws. Easy opportunities.
Illinois needs a miracle here. Of course, Purdue experienced one of those against Colorado State. Brown fires over Busher. Deep Brown, tough afternoon, 4 of 19 shooting. Williams will try it and gets it. 11.7 to go. And if you're a Purdue fan, you're not comfortable with this, because you know a month ago, a miracle happened in Colorado State country where CSU hit 2 threes with a second to go, much to the delight and the disagreement of Purdue, and won the game.
Yeah, you're right. These Purdue fans are not comfortable with anything, but Gene Katie is the man in West Lafayette. Look at how he's done it through the years. About every 5 years. You see 3 years the first 100, then 5, then 5, then 4, and now a little bit longer to get to 500. But Big Ten is so tough, and Gene Katie's really fought his way through. He's got a great program, a great system. He gets the right type of players in there. Any coach around the country will just praise Gene Katie for what he is as a person and as a coach in the program that he runs.
If the lead holds, Katie gets $4.99 today at Purdue, Mike, and $500. The opportunity would be against Bo Ryan, and a huge matchup, early conference war with Wisconsin on Wednesday. But Purdue, again, with the right people going back to the free throw line, either Parkinson or Lowe. The rest of the guys aren't bad free throw shooters. Those two, though, are very good.
Illinois doesn't have the opportunity or the chance to wait until someone with a bad free throw percentage gets the ball. You have to follow the first guy available. They do that. It's low. But right now you need the ball back in your hands. So they say put them on the line. We'll trade 3 for 2 is the worst case scenario.
Lowe actually missed 2 free throw attempts the other night in Iowa City. He was in the top 15 of the NCAA in free throw shooting prior to that game.
Sun was in his eyes, I think.
Missed that one, but an offensive rebound by Kiefer, and Kiefer will go to the free throw line.
Oh, that hurts for Illinois right there. You get what you need in a missed free throw from the best free throw shooter on Purdue's team, and then you can't get the rebound. That is a dagger through the heart of Bruce Weber.
What do you do? First miss, by the way, for Purdue at the free throw line today. Kiefer is 4 for 4. And Kiefer comes in at 56% from the line.
How do you figure?
Bruce will get a rematch in early March. And who knows where these teams will be in the conference standings at that point.
Well, I'd expect both of them to be at the top. 2 good programs, great players. And these teams are fighters. They'll come back. Illinois will come back with some victories. They won't let it go. And Purdue, obviously, will ride this momentum against Wisconsin.
Big-time win for the Boilermakers on the road. And the teacher beats the former student by 4 this afternoon, 58-54, the very first meeting between Katie and Weber.
Well, good job by both teams today. Illinois doing a good job of trying to work their offense, but Purdue doing a better job. Able to do what they want on defense and on offense, and they get the win on the road. A tough road victory.
Boilermakers 1-1 now in the conference. The same for Illinois. Great defensive game today. Let's head back to Mike and Sean in the studios, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim. Interesting day in the Big Ten studios. Interesting day in the Big Ten. You have Northwestern going into Iowa City. As Jim said, Northwestern, Iowa, Purdue, Illinois, all 1-1, but Penn State sitting there at 2-0 in the Big Ten now.
Penn State did a great job holding home serve. The only team in the triple header today to do it. Northwestern plays very poorly at Michigan. Purdue plays very poorly at Iowa. They come back and win. Such is the circle of life, Mike.
So that's going to wrap it up for our first triple header here from ESPN Plus. So once again, your winners, Penn State over the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Northwestern knocking out the Iowa Hawkeyes, and Purdue snaps the winning streak in Assembly Hall at 23 for Illinois. We're back next week with a twin bill. Minnesota goes into Columbus to take on the Buckeyes, and Northwestern at Indiana. There's our final score for Sean Morris and the entire ESPN Plus crew. This is Mike Leeson saying so long from the Big Ten studios. This has been a presentation of ESPN Plus, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports television. So long, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.